YouTube. What's going on? What's the business? It's your boy, Georgia Texas Boy. And on this episode of today of Georgia Texas Boy Speaks, we're going to be talking about the direction of the Atlanta Falcons. A lot has been going on since January. We hired Matt Ryan as president of football. We finally have a head coach in Kevin Stefanski, and we're still on the search for our GM. How's everybody doing on this Sunday evening? We got the playoff game between the Patriots and the Broncos going on right now. So if you came out to support me right now, thank you. So to start off this episode today, we're going to be talking about our boy, Matty Ice, as the president of football. And as the president of football, Matt Ryan will be serving as the top football decision maker. He will be overseeing the long-term vision, culture, and the competitive direction of our Atlanta Falcons. With Matt Ryan coming in here, we are hoping that he will establish an identity, set the standards, and reinforce long-term football philosophy. Get us back to those good old winning days. He is going to supervise and oversee the GM as well as the head coach hires. But as Matt Ryan stated, he is not coming in here to build a roster. He is not coming in here to coach, call a play, or put on a uniform. He is here to come in. He has been called in here to establish a vision for our Atlanta Falcons. Why not anybody other than Matt Ryan? Who else knows these Atlanta Falcons better than Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan was a quarterback for our Atlanta Falcons for 14 years. He knows this organization inside and out. He has good leadership qualities. He has good preparation qualities, accountability, as well as a football IQ. And not to say he is well respected around the league. With Matt Ryan being on CBS, he got the vigil. He got to visualize the way other franchise teams have been ran or are running around the NFL currently. And with his help, as well as with the help of Sportology, Arthur Blank feels like we can get this team back in the right direction. We are hoping that Matt Ryan comes in here and change the culture of this franchise. The last 8 years have been putrid. They have been very bad. At least I can say for the last three, maybe four, we don't had the division in our cuffs, and we have allowed the division to just swindle away time and time again. So hopefully, with the change of direction, with the cleaning the house of everybody, and bringing in some a new line of vision, and not the same line of vision that has been here since 2004 and Rich McKay. So let's hope that it works. Let's hope that Matt Ryan comes in here, and I know people are going to say, well, he has no experience in the front office. So let's hope he brings in experienced individuals to work in the front office. Let's hope we get inexperienced GM. Let's hope we get inexperienced head coach. Somebody who knows what to do on the job so we don't have to keep putting training wheels on this person while they lead our team. I also feel like with Matt Ryan coming in here, he will be a point of contact. So when there's problems between the head coach and the GM, you talk to Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan will talk to Arthur, or Matt Ryan will handle the problem. The bottom line with Matt Ryan coming in as president of football, we are hoping that he is bringing intelligent leadership, long term thinking, and organization discipline, a form of accountability for this team that has been missing for a while. Depending on which way you want to look at it, from a GM point or from a head coach standpoint, we have went through three and if three head coaches in the last 8 years. So let's hope this time we get it right and Matt Ryan makes the right decision for our head coach. Speaking of head coach, Atlanta Falcons family, congratulations. The new era is here. The new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons is Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski Kevin Stefanski was recently the head coach of the Cleveland Browns for the last 6 years. And you have some Atlanta Falcons fans, some are with it and some are entirely against it. Some of it has to do with the losing record, some of it has to do with other reasons, but people are still not happy. They are upset. You have some fans, they are willing to get with it because it's an offensive minded head coach, something that we haven't had in a while. I take that back. An experienced offensive minded head coach that we haven't had in a while since Dan Reeves in the 1998-99 Dirty Birds. So Kevin Stefanski, how about we just break down the whole Kevin Stefanski hiring in Atlanta? The cons. You have some fans, they are legitimately pissed. A huge chunk, a huge chunk of our fan base reacted with frustration and contempt. They were not with the hiring at all. You even had celebrities coming out and were like, no, they do not agree with this hiring whatsoever. Like they were all against it. And as I stated, he has a mediocre record, and it doesn't justify the job in high pressure situations. So some people just look at it, well, he had a losing record in Cleveland and he only went to the playoffs twice. And one of those times he went to the playoffs, he had COVID, so he didn't coach the team. And then some people would say, look, he went through 13 quarterbacks in the 6 years that he was in Cleveland. And then you will have some people say that he isn't a player's coach, that he wants it his way or the highway. But hey, we don't know. All we could do is get behind this hire as Atlanta Falcons fans. I really believe this was the way to go if we wasn't going with a new first time head coach. And I feel like with Matt Ryan being new to president of football, he wants to bring along as much experience as possible. And with this team, I believe we needed an offensive minded head coach, an experienced offensive minded head coach. So yes, Kevin Stefanski did have a subpar record with Cleveland, but he can turn it around. I'm not saying he is Bill Belichick or could be the next Bill Belichick, but hey, even Bill Belichick left Cleveland with a losing record. So we don't know. We just got to get behind our head coach and see where this takes us. You had some analysts, they were just really mad about it. Like Skip just called it a big mistake. He was not behind it at all. And then you had like some former GMs, they were like, no, they wish Stefanski would have went back to be an OC before becoming the head coach. But it's funny that they say that when all seven teams, other than the Cleveland Browns, who had a head coach opening, wanted to interview Kevin Stefanski for their head coaching job. That's what makes it crazy that Kevin Stefanski doesn't deserve an opportunity to fix what was broken since people said he has an undercooked resume, he has a weak offensive identity, he has a potential to be a cultural mismatch because it's Atlanta. I understand Atlanta and a black Mecca, but when it comes to winning football games, I don't care if my coach is black, white, yellow, blue, purple, green, orange. It doesn't matter. As long as he is producing a consistent winner with these Atlanta Falcons, we can't do nothing but get behind them 100%. And just like old Mud Duck said on Smitty and A1 show, If he comes out and puts a consistent winner on this field and prove to the fans, we will get behind him 100%. But until then, we just have to wait and see. Let's hope during this offseason, once we get our GM in, we can start making moves and see where this team is headed, see some of the directions where this team is going. So some of the pros for Stefanski. When it comes to stability and leadership, he brings structure and he can bring that structure to this direction of this franchise. It's been a long time since we had as I stated, an experienced head coach since Dan Reeves. Yes, Mike Smith was a first-time head coach who came off with the wheels running, but Mike Smith made sure he had experienced coordinators when it came to this team. It just didn't work in the long run. Dan Quinn, he was a high coordinator coming from the Seahawks, and he came in with the wheels running. We had 3 winning seasons, but after that, it just went downhill. Arthur Smith, I give it to him. He didn't have much to work with those first couple years, but after that, when the money and stuff came in, we still never got over that hump, and we were still 7-10, 3 years in a row. As for Raheem Morris, we were 8-9 for 2 years in a row, but this second 8-9, it didn't feel like that first 8-9. This second 8-9, it feel like, why was we here? Why were we going through some of the same stuff we was going through 2 years ago with a more experienced, older team? And some of the mishaps of last season was the reason that Raheem Morris had to go, as well as Terry Fontenot, as well as Rich McKay. But back to this new head coach and Kevin Stefanski. He brings a player first approach and emphasizes the fundamentals. That will be very huge for Atlanta because the fundamentals are big. Just think about how many drop passes we had, missed route running we had. Just being accountable and handling your business as a player in the NFL. That's what we need. It's almost like an old school approach mixed with it a little bit of modernized NFL football. Like we getting a little bit of old school with a little bit of new school. My old school costs more than your new school type, stuff like that. He will bring a balanced offensive philosophy that fits our roster. We have Bijan Robertson. We have Drake London. Depending on what happens in free agency, we can have Kyle Pitts back. We can maybe even have Tyler Algier back, but that all depends on how the books work. But with our offensive weapons, and depending on what happens at quarterback, this team could really take a leap forward to where we don't have to see anymore losing depressing seasons. Like those days could really be behind us. That's only if Kevin Stefanski is as advertised, as the experienced offensive head coach that our Atlanta Falcons need to succeed. So yes, he was two-time NFL Coach of the Year in 2020 and in 2023. So in 2020, he won NFL Coach of the Year in his first year at Cleveland with Baker Mayfield as quarterback. In 2023, he won Coach of the Year, starting 5 to 6 different quarterbacks, primarily Joe Flacco, and they went to the playoffs. He will be able to have a stable system that will unlock Bijan to another level that maybe Bijan doesn't even know that he can go. Like bringing in this zone blocking scheme and this gap blocking scheme that he likes to run, and bringing in Bill Callahan as an offensive line coach. This running game, even though it was at one point top two, top three, it can go even better. It can be like stable as a top five rushing game. As for play calling, yes, I understand that Kevin Stefanski brought in Tommy Reese as his offensive coordinator. Me personally, I do not believe that Tommy Reese will be calling plays in his offense. I believe that Tommy Reese will be the offensive coordinator. He will help design his offense, but I believe when it comes to the play calling of his offense, this will be all Kevin Stefanski. Managing the quarterback room. If Michael Penix is ready to go in the summer prior to training camp, that would be a huge weight off for our shoulders as fans of these Atlanta Falcons. And I have faith that he could come back. They say that he went with the same doctor that worked on Tom Brady as well as Adrian Peterson. So we just have to wait and see. As for a bridge quarterback, who do we bring in? I hear a lot of people saying Joe Flacco. I hear some people saying, well, let's keep Kirk Cousins. The only thing about keeping Kirk Cousins, if we keep Kirk Cousins past March 13th, then in 2027 he's owed 68 to 70 million dollars. Do we want to take that cap hit? Even though, yes, we could make him a June 1st cut and then split that up into 27 and to 28. Is that a possibility? Maybe. I also hear some people saying that well, Kevin Stefanski might trade for Dylan Gabriel because that's his guy. And he's a left-handed quarterback like Michael Penix Jr. Is that a possibility? Maybe. We just have to wait and see. But there's a lot of veteran quarterbacks in the league who don't have a job or somebody we could trade for, like a Mac Jones. Some people are saying Malik Willis, Carson Wentz, Kenny Pickett, Daniel Jones, depending on what the coach are going to do with him, even though he is coming off an injury. I mean, what do we do in this situation when it comes to quarterback? That's an open book. As for the skilled players, do we attempt to re-sign Tyler Algier or do we allow him to go off in free agency and maybe draft a running back or bring in a free agent running back? We were talking about earlier a possibility of bringing Nick Chubb to the Falcons. Could that work? Maybe. What about the wide receiver room? Do we release Darnell Mooney or do we bring him back and let him play out his contract? Do we get to see what we have in Casey Washington or Chris Blair, or do we need to bring in free agent wide receivers or look at wide receivers in the draft? I'm a huge fan of Zachariah Branton and Dylan Bell, both of the wide receivers from Georgia. You're getting a speedster, Tyreek Hill type who can separate the field and get downfield, a downfield threat, and then you have that Debo Samuel type and Dylan Bell who can just be a gadget and get you snaps from all over the field and give you even more separation down the field. Those are two good impactful players. But Kyle Pitts, do we re-sign Kyle Pitts to a major contract or do we franchise tag Kyle Pitts? We do understand that under Kevin Stefanski, he does like to run a lot of 12 personnel. So could that be a Kyle Pitts, David Njoku, or Kyle Pitts, Joshua Simon, or Kyle Pitts, Charlie Warner, or do we? I mean, the possibilities is endless. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so excited for the possibilities for these Atlanta Falcons because, as I always stated, the new era of Atlanta football is here. Yes, sir, it is here. A new brand of Atlanta Falcon football. Yes, indeed. The bottom line with Kevin Stefanski, we're getting proven leadership, awards, and playoff experience. He is getting a better roster than his previous coaching job. And overall, he is going to be able to set stability and an identity for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, that's one half of what Matt Ryan wanted to set for a vision for these Atlanta Falcons. He wanted to bring somebody on board who would align with his vision of improving this franchise and getting this franchise over the hump and getting us back into the land of playoffs. Just look at the playoffs this year. The last four quarterbacks were all quarterbacks in the who were in the last. No, take that back because you still got Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold. Even though Sam Darnold, people thought Sam Darnold was falling off. He had a hell of a year last year in Minnesota. He duplicated that same production right now in Seattle. But just look at the C.J. Strouds, Caleb Williams, Drake Mays, Bo Nix's. We should have been in these playoffs. Hell, even Bryce Young got to go to the playoffs, man. But yeah, we're here. We're outside with these Atlanta Falcons, and we are live. Come on, come on. Join us. Speak your piece. Hit the link is in the chat. But yeah, man, Kevin Stefanski and Matt Ryan, those are two pieces out of three that's going to help change the direction of these Atlanta Falcons. And with the GM candidates underway and with the search underway, speaking of GM, let's talk about the candidates on hand. First up, this is a lot of people top choice. Ian Cunningham, currently assistant general manager of the Chicago Bears. He's not flashy, he's not loud, but he checks most of the boxes on the list. He ran multiple departments. He's a modern thinker, so he's already above the curve when it comes to this new NFL that's coming about. And he can come in day one and do the entire job of what we need as a GM. Everything that everybody wants. Everybody wants a GM that's going to come in and do the job day one. The complete job, not part of it, not some of this, not some of that, but everything. Come in, do your job, build the roster, build the front office, and let's get this team back into playoff contention. The end of the day, this is the difference. A pick like Ian Cunningham, this is the difference from being average and being organized. A pick like Ian Cunningham, just off his resume and the talk about him throughout the NFL circles, he is a guy who is ready to come in day one and take over the job. He has history working with the Baltimore Ravens and Ozzie Newsome. He has history working with the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman. He was with both franchises during Super Bowl seasons in 2012 as well as 2018 and prior for the Philadelphia Eagles before leaving and being the assistant GM for the Chicago Bears. Also, he has a relationship with Matt Ryan, as well as a relationship with Ryan Poles, the current GM of the Chicago Bears. And just look what 1 year and one coaching change can do for a franchise. They went to the playoffs, they won the division, and why can't that be the Atlanta Falcons? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the candidate, Ian Cunningham. Candidate number two. Now, when this name came about, there was a lot of scrutiny. Joe Douglas, the former GM for the New York Jets, and he is the current senior personnel of the GM for the Philadelphia Eagles. So prior to being the GM for the New York Jets, he was working for the Philadelphia Eagles from 2016 to 2018 before becoming the GM for the New York Jets. Joe Douglas. Now, if Joe Douglas was to be picked to be GM, I feel like Joe Douglas would be the safest pick because he already has GM experience. He has drafted real stars, and the entire Jets situation wasn't on him. You know, the Jets and that leadership. So, and that ownership with Mr. Woody Johnson. But hey, Joe Douglas, he won't win the headlines, but he won't crash the plane either because he been here before. I could understand why Matt Ryan would interview a candidate like Joe Douglas because he has previous GM experience. In the same sense that Kevin Stefanski has previous head coaching experience. So I could see Matt Ryan going the experience route and bringing two experienced people together to help lead this franchise. You will be bringing in two people who we can all say came from two badly ran franchises, but maybe both of these two wrongs could make it right. That is Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas, former GM of the New York Jets, current senior personnel for the Philadelphia Eagles. Our third candidate, Josh Williams of the 49ers. So he has been part of the 49ers for 18 plus years. He is part of their scouting pop line. He is very good with the analytics and film. He is more of he is a risk with reward type of hire because out of all three candidates who I named him, Ian Cunningham and Joe Douglas, he has the least front office experience when it comes to these guys. Okay. So he came up in one of the NFL's best run organizations. He blends data and film naturally. Some of the pros for Josh Williams, he's been part of the 49ers draft and development machine. He's a strong process builder. He's a modern thinker and a collaborative. So he knows how to work together with those in the group. Some of the cons for Josh Williams, he never led the entire front office and he's less media facing experiences. So he's not necessarily out in front of the cameras speaking. He's more behind the scenes type of guy. He will fit the Falcons if we want a process first type of GM. This will be a high upside hire as well as a riskier but could be a home run hire for our Atlanta Falcons. Compared to Joe Douglas and Ian Cunningham, he will be the less experienced. As I stated with Joe Douglas, he has drafted elite talent. He gives you Sauce, Garrett Wilson, Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson. Those are just a few of the New York Jets players. He's comfortable making the hard calls, and he has a strong background in building the trenches and a defense builder. He's a stabilizer. Joe Douglas would be good if our Atlanta Falcons want a strong hand and authority and somebody who has done the job before. Yes, I understand this will be a least sexy pick in the eyes of Atlanta Falcons fans, but this will be more of a substance pick when it comes to Joe Douglas, the senior advisor for the Philadelphia Eagles. Our fourth candidate, Mike Bradway. He is the assistant GM for the Kansas City Chiefs. He comes from a championship pedigree. He has been with the Kansas City Chiefs for well over 12 to 15 years. He learned under Howie Roseman in Philadelphia as well as Brett Veach in Kansas City. He's seen dynasty level roster management. And when I seen that, I mean, when I say that in saying he's seen what it takes to build a roster from top to bottom to become a championship contender. to look out there and say, hey, I got to see Howie Roseman and Brett Veach put belt to ass in a way and build a team to bring championships to our franchises. He know what it takes to build a championship culture. He has a good blend of draft and pro personnel, so he knows his way around the draft room as well as around free agents, and he knows what it takes to sustain a winner, being being part of the Philadelphia Eagles as well as the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, some of the knock on Mike Bradway would be it's hard to separate his impact without a elite quarterback, whether it was Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes. And in the both teams that he worked for, people would say that it was more Howie Roseman and Brett Veach who were the voice instead of Mike Bradway. But Mike Bradway would still be a wonderful choice for the Atlanta Falcons. He is a great support system builder. The only question is, can he build a roster and a team without Patrick Mahomes? Our fifth candidate, James Letford. He is the assistant GM for the Houston Texans. His expertise is college scouting. Why would he be a fit for our Atlanta Falcons? He helped the Texans nail recent draft picks, whether it was the wide receivers this year from Iowa State, or the Stingley pick, or the Kamari Lassiter pick, or the Jalen Petrie pick. He was very vital in helping those pick, and he has a strong college pipeline. And of course, he was a linebacker for those Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Go Dogs. But yeah, he's a very good draft board builder. His talent identification is very strong, very, very strong. And he's very detail oriented. So if we want a guy who's just gonna be deep into the college program and not necessarily more of the pros, then yes, he will fit. He will be a perfect fit for a vice president or an assistant GM type role, if you ask me, if it was my opinion. And I feel like it would be a risky hire to have him as the GM if this was the to have him as a GM instead of having somebody over him as an overseer. Let's see who we got in the chat. What's going on, 330? Hit the link and come on in, man, and speak your words. But yeah, y'all. So when it comes to our fourth GM candidate in James Letford, I feel like he will be set better for a VP role or an assistant GM role under somebody like a Ian Cunningham or a Joe Douglas. Our last candidate, Andy Whittle, assistant GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Andy Whittle, this is a old school football type of guy. He's not really a moderate football type of guy. He's not really a analytical type of guy. This is a hard nose. I'm going off what I see type of guy. He got decades in the scouting room. He was part of the Pittsburgh Steelers from, I believe, 99 to 2007. So he got to work with Bill Cowher as well as Mike Tomlin, as well as winning Super Bowls with those franchises. Then he went off to the Baltimore Ravens, worked with Ozzie Newsome again. One thing I noticed about these GM candidates, that Baltimore pipeline and that Philadelphia Eagle pipeline, it runs deep. So I like the direction that Matt Ryan is going for this franchise. He is looking at candidates from proven franchises who have gotten the job done of winning Super Bowls and bringing Super Bowls to those franchises. So I understand the direction that Matt Ryan is going, hoping that maybe this direction could take our Atlanta Falcons over the hump and give us our first Super Bowl. So back to Andy Whittle. He's seen multiple systems succeed. As I stated, he's worked in Pittsburgh under Bill Cowher as well as Mike Tomlin. Then he goes to Baltimore and gets to work with Ozzie Newsome as well as John Harbaugh and won a Super Bowl in 2012. Then he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles and gets to work with Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson and won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2018. And then he got to be there when they switched over to Nick Sirianni. And then in 2022, he went back to Pittsburgh. And one thing that I hear about Andy Whittle, he is very detail oriented when it comes to the trenches. They say that Andy Whittle was a helpful part in the Philadelphia Eagles obtaining those Georgia Bulldogs, as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers drafting Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State, as well as Derek Harmon from Oregon. So he has a very good background in the trenches. He's a tough evaluator. He has a strong eye for the defensive side of the ball, and he's a stability guy. Like if you like this is almost like a Joe Douglas hire without the experience of being an actual GM, but the experience in the background of being around what it takes to build a successful franchise. And Andy Whittle. As I stated, he is not as modern as the other candidates. And some people may say that the ceiling may be limited when it comes to Andy Whittle because he's an old school type of guy. They would say he is more of a floor raiser rather than a ceiling riser. Overall, I feel like the best overall fit for our Atlanta Falcons when it comes to a GM would be Ian Cunningham. He also has that Baltimore Ravens background as well as that Philadelphia Eagles background. And currently, he was a very integral piece to helping turn around these Chicago Bears. And he would bring that modern approach to what these Atlanta Falcons need in the front office. We just lost Kyle Smith to the Miami Dolphins. So I wouldn't be surprised if two of these guys are hired, one of them to be the actual GM and one of them to be the assistant GM. The safe choice, if Matt Ryan wanted to be safe with the GM choice and pick off experience, I believe Matt Ryan will go with Joe Douglas. You bring in experience, somebody who has been a former GM before, and somebody who understands the job. Almost like Kevin Stefanski, you don't have to come in and put the training wheels on the coach or the GM. But I understand Matt Ryan going at somebody like Ian Cunningham or Andy Whittle because they've been around. They've been around, so they understand what a GM's job pertains. Because that was some of the gripes we had about Terry Fontenot, that Terry Fontenot didn't do the whole job of a GM. And I was a Terry Fontenot fan, but I understand people saying, well, the GM, he didn't pick his own head coach, or when he first got here, he was in control of the roster. He was in control of the cap, and Arthur Smith was in control of the roster. So I get it. So I understand this new vision that Matt Ryan is trying to in depth into these Atlanta Falcons. I want vision from experienced franchises that have done the job. And I believe in for us, what we need in our GM, we need a GM to come in here to say, okay, what is the plan at quarterback? We understand we have Michael Penix under contract for the next 3 seasons. Do we go out and spend millions again on a quarterback how we did Kirk Cousins, or do we go out and get a true bridge quarterback that can fill in for Michael Penix until Michael Penix is ready to play. But that's still not saying is Michael Penix will Michael Penix be ready at the beginning of the season? As I stated before, he got to go to the same doctor as Tom Brady and Adrian Peterson. And maybe with this new technology, he can come back right because he didn't injure the knee that was already injured. It was the opposite knee that was a partial tear. But then that's another slander to Raheem Morris because if you knew that Michael Penix had a partial tear, why did you bring him out on the field? You just made him go back in his career again because you didn't want to stick to your plan of allowing Kirk Cousins to be a starter for 2 years. And within that, you are no longer here. You are no longer the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. And that cost you your job. We need a GM that's going to be on the script with Kevin Stefanski as well as Jeff Ulbrich in building this team. Because we have pieces across the board. The defensive side of the ball with the AJs, the Jesse Bates, the Xavier Watts, the James Pierce Jr., the Jalen Walkers, the Brandon Dorless, the Ruka Roros. The foundation is there. Do we bring back David Onyemata? Do we re-sign Kaden Ellis? What about AK? We still have Leonard Floyd for another year. What about linebacker? Do we re-sign Ronnie Harrison? Do we move Jalen Walker to middle linebacker? Like, we have so many things to talk about when it comes to this defense, as well as the offensive side of the ball. So I hope we find a GM that can come in here, look at this roster, examine this roster, and get the business day one. Like the good thing for us as a franchise, we're the only team looking for a GM. As you can see, the Miami Dolphins, they were looking for a GM as well, but they found their GM from Green Bay. They found their GM from Green Bay, GM from Green Bay, as well as the head coach of Green Bay. What's going on, 330?
Hey, what's going on, man? Just sitting
Oh
back.
man, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for joining the show, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love to talk that Falcon football any opportunity that I get.
That right, that right. So how you feel about this GM search, 330?
Well, um, well, let me give my disclaimer now. I always felt like that we should have maybe went and already had hired a GM or kept Terry, but that's another story. That's an old story. Um,
Great. Listen, right here on Gas Boy Speaks, we let the truth be told. So speak how you feel. So
okay.
you feel that Terry should have got another year. Explain why.
Because of the increase of the um, what can I say? Duties that they were giving him. And if you go back and look, um, he started, doing better and better, I guess, based off of, all the duties that they were allowing him to do. And I think that right now he was on the edge of solidifying most of our issues. Um, Now the quarterback situation that probably hurt him really, really bad. And I don't know where they're going with that, but I think that was the worst part of this whole deal for him, along with what went on with Raheem. But
Yeah.
but the way Matt Ryan them is doing things, I don't even think that a general manager is important right now to them. I mean, they're going to fill the position, but I don't think he's going to really do a whole lot, as a traditional GM.
Yeah. I can see why you say that because we hired Terry, and Terry didn't come in and do the full job, and then we had Dimitrov in here. He kind of did the full job, but he still had an overseer in Rich McKay. But I feel just me and you know me, as I've been stating, the new era is here. I feel like Matt Ryan is going to go get somebody who can do the job, like somebody who can come in day one and completely take on all duties of a GM. Because as he stated before, he's not coming in here to build a roster. He's not coming in here to build a front office. He's not coming in here to call plays, and he's not coming in here to put on a jersey. He's coming in here to establish a vision and pick a GM and a head coach that align with that vision and allow them to run this team.
Well, um, I wouldn't feel bad if he used some of his experience as a quarterback, to help the team out, because I think that's going to be part of his what he's going to do to solidify or to solve the issue that we got moving forward. Some people are looking for Kirk to come back because by default, um, some people are. I'm hearing about that Penix is going to get healthy earlier than what I'm thinking he was going to get. So I'm hoping that the upside be the connections that Matt Ryan got, and also the just the knowledge of him being just being a elite quarterback during his career to help us know what direction we headed when they go into camp.
Yeah, and I agree with the Kevin Stefanski connections to Kirk Cousins and the possibility of Michael Penix being healthy when it's time to go into training camp. It's just with me, I don't see Kirk Cousins being on this roster after doing a restructure. Because if he's here when the league starts on March 13th, that's 70 million guaranteed for 2027. So now we can, yes, play him for 2026, but now we gotta take that money further down the line and make it a June 1st cut for 2027 and 2028.
Okay, because I know you are a stat. I mean, you are a money man when it comes to this football. Which scenario would have been better to restructure or leave his contract like it was, looking at the situation that we're in right now?
If it was me and looking at the situation that was on hand, and if because it's hard to say because they made the decision before they knew Kevin Stefanski was going to be the head coach. So I would say in that situation, if they knew they was going to part ways with Kurt, then they did the right move. But if I feel like if now all of a sudden they wanted to keep Kurt for Stefanski, then there needs to be an extension or something on that 70 million, like add another year to the contract or something. If we're
And,
going to
and
keep
another
Kurt,
dilemma
but
that we got, I'm throwing this in because it's kind of, things kind of happen, you know, after the fact, after just with the hiring of Matt Ryan and all of that. Um, what do we, okay, let's say we keep Kirk and Penix is healthy midway the season. Is that going to be an automatic bringing Penix back? Do you work with Kirk? I mean, are you let him play according to where we are, or what?
mm, see, that's a good question because that would have to go down to depending on what so let's say they say Michael Penix is coming back week 5. If in those first 4 weeks we're 2-2 or 3-1, you keep Kurt playing. If it's 1-3, 0-4, I believe bring in Michael Penix. But see, that's going to be the toss up for this team. Do we keep Kurt or do we allow Kurt to go off in free agency?
But see, I think that's the big
Because I
question.
feel like if
When is Penix has his window is for coming back? What's the window?
yes, because I feel like they already spoken and said, hey, look, we know Michael Penix is going to be here for 3 years. We're going to pick up his 5th-year option for 3 years. Let's go get us a bridge quarterback. Let's go get somebody like Kenny Pickett, Carson Wentz, Jameis, Jacoby Brissett, and just let them play out 2026. Allow Michael Penix to get healthy, to learn the scheme, and to be ready for 2027. If this quarterback who we bring in 2026 does a good job to where you can give them another year or two contract, you have a quarterback competition in 2027. Or you draft a quarterback at the end of 2026 or in 2027 and have a quarterback competition with Michael Penix. But for right now, for 2026 and with this certainty, we don't know if Michael Penix is going to be ready week 1 or even week 5. So why not go get a bridge quarterback for 1 year? I understand some people saying Joe Flacco, but I don't know about Joe Flacco. I don't know.
See,
I'd rather take
that's
my
my
chances
dilemma.
with
What's the time frame? Because some quarterbacks can give you a season, but would you want to um get a quarterback in and give him a contract for the whole season if you're planning on
right,
bringing Penix back next season at some period?
right, and that's why part of me I'm not really with the whole go trade for Mac Jones because if you're gonna have Michael Penix come back next season, why trade for a quarterback like Mac Jones? Just get a quarterback who can bridge us through. A Tyrod Taylor, a Teddy Bridgewater. We just need you for 6 to 8 games max. If if we want Michael Penix to come in and play in 2026. Now, with the game plan is for Michael Penix not to play in 2026, okay, go get a quarterback who can compete with these weapons in 2026.
And I think that's going to be the factor of how they move, getting a quarterback. And if they are almost guaranteed to play Michael Penix next
Be-
year, there's no need to keep Kirk.
right. And because I said this on the home team show, I can see a situation to where they cut Kurt, right? You allow Kurt to go through the waivers. Once he go through the waivers and don't get picked up, his contract is voided. Now you bring Kurt in on a new contract.
And what you do then, a minimum.
Yeah, vet minimum, 1 year, 5 million, or
Wow.
1 year, 10 million.
But knowing Kurt, he come in, he gonna have some crazy incentives in that contract if they can do that.
Because you already getting your money.
Yeah, Kurt done got paid well with everybody that
Man,
he
come on
played with.
now. Kirk Cousins have got I believe he one of the most highest paid guaranteed quarterbacks in NFL history. Then it's like we have so many things with this roster. Do we attempt to re-sign Tyler Hygier? I know everybody would love to re-sign Tyler Hygier, but just look at a team like right now, the Denver Broncos. They could use somebody like Tyler Algier to replace Harvey.
And by the way, the Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
Whoa. But that was a like once Bo Nix went down, it was
But that's the
like
game
given
before the
that the
Super Bowl.
Patriots was gonna win. Even yeah, yep. The Patriots just won the AFC Championship in 1 year with an experienced head coach and a young quarterback. They was in last place last year. They had a top five pick and picked Will Campbell in the draft, and now they going to the Super Bowl in year one. In year one, why can't that be the Atlanta Falcons? Why can't we be happy that we brought in an experienced offensive minded head coach who can come in possibly year one and turn this franchise around?
And with um, Sean Payton, this is why I was saying about the situation that we got in, and everybody, a lot of people were saying that Terry had his hand in on a lot of it. And my thing that I'm standing on is by him being in New Orleans, and watching Sean Payton and Drew Brees and all of the other good draft picks and free agent people that they got in. A lot of those moves that we made that were kind of questionable, it was uncharacteristic of Terry Fontenot based off of the pedigree that he came from. That's why I think it would have been it wouldn't have hurt us to let him stay. At least one more season to kind of finish up his what he was doing. But like I said, I knew he was going to be collateral damage from
Yeah,
Raheem.
but if the rumors were true that Terry was being voiceless and just sitting back and allowing Raheem to just do as he pleases with this team and just going along with the go along, you have no choice but to be collateral damage at this point because you're part of the problem.
Yeah, but what good was it going to do Terry Fontenot to buck against those moves if he didn't have any power? And most of the time, when you voice your opinions or you're not against or for something, you're viewed as being a complainer when you don't have any power. That's what I experienced. So maybe he
But I
did what was
feel
best for
like
him.
at this point, Terry was in year five. This isn't like it was with year one when it was him and Arthur Smith and they both had to report to Rich McKay. You're in year five, and under Arthur Blank's eyes, he looked at it. Okay, you're in year five. You're experienced. I brought in an experienced head coach in in Raheem Morris. So if there's a problem, both of y'all should be able to bring the situation to the table. Or if you see something is wrong, you should voice your opinion and say, "Hey, this is wrong. This ain't working." But he sat back and allowed the shit show to continue. So they all had to go at the end of the day. At the end of the day, y'all came in individually, but you're gonna get fired as a group. And we finna bring in new leadership. We all don't seen them before in the workforce. You don't see everybody in management out of nowhere get fired, and you bring in new management. It's the same game plan, but it's new people, and now they're gonna see if it's gonna work.
Um, did you ever hear anybody say that they reported to Terry Fontenot
Nope,
or they was reporting to other people that was in management?
nope. All I heard was Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris report to Arthur Blank. But that goes back to the press conference that Arthur Blank had. He shouldn't be this close to the football field as the owner. And with him removing Rich McKay from the football side of things, he had to make a position, president of football, and separate the business and the actual football into two separate entities so that one person can focus on that task at hand. Because it would have been different if he would have just came in and said, "All right, Greg Beatles, you're gonna take over everything that Rich McKay did." That right there could have been too much on Greg Beatles' plate, but he knows that Greg Beatles understands the business side of the game. He might not understand everything step for step on the football side of things. So why not go get somebody who been integral to the game for the last 14, 17 years, whether it's been a player or a analyst in Matt Ryan, and make him your president of football.
But it can work though. I'm not against it. It can work. You know, I am respecting the move, the change. It can work, but I'm going to be more comfortable when we decide on how we're going to move with that quarterback position, what kind of window they got on when who's going to be the quarterback for this season, next season, and what they're going to do with Penny. Because we
Oh
don't
yeah, we
know if
got plenty
Stefanski
of
want him or not.
man. This team, whether it's on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball, yeah, I think Stefanski, when he looked at this roster, he was like, okay, I can work with this. If we can keep Pitts, whether it's a franchise tag or what, if we can keep Pitts, bring in another tight end, whether it's that's bringing up Joshua Simon or bringing in a free agent tight end, that 12 personnel is going to be crazy because he understands how to run 12 personnel. This isn't like Zach, who we're getting somebody who is new to play calling, new to play designing or route concepts. We're getting somebody who is experienced in play designing and route concepts, especially within the West Coast offense and the 12 personnel using heavy play action and heavy run scheme. Like that's about to be the luxury of having Kevin Stefanski as the head coach of our Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. Um, just an opinion question. With Tampa Bay, did they pick up Zach? They've already signed him.
I believe they picked up Zach as well as TJ Yates.
Okay. What is it to you individually? What did that say to you about those two guys versus us letting them go and they picking them up?
I feel like they only did it because of the familiarity with Baker. Like I feel like if Baker didn't push for Zach Robinson, as well as them seeing what a Zach Robinson offense could look like against their defense, because we don't smack them 3 times out of the last 4 years. I mean, 3 out of the last 4 games, they done got smashed under Zach Robinson offense. So I can see why, because Kurt done dropped 500 on them plus, but I think it was more of a Baker Mayfield endorsement for Zach Robinson because of their relationship in LA.
So a lot of it is based off of not records or whatever. It's about the individual concept of these coaches and what scheme you got, whatever team they go to.
Yes, because if you notice about Tampa Bay, ever since Bruce Arians left and Brian Leftwich left, they have been trying to poach or get somebody who has came off of that Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay tree. The same as we have. I believe this is the first year in a long time we have decided not to go get somebody off of the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay coaching tree and Kevin Stefanski. Even though we're still in the West Coast, we're not under that Shanahan tree. Like the Shanahan tree, in my opinion, has took over the NFC South.
Well, I just hope that looking at I'm looking watching television also, but I was just thinking to myself, I don't know how many years Brady had been removed from the um Patriots and then followed by Belichick. But these guys are back in the Super Bowl, and I think that speaks a lot about your front office. What type of culture you built, and even when things are looking bad, you still can't doubt them guys. You still can't take them guys for granted because you better believe they are making moves to get back to what they know best, and that is competitive championship football. And we
I
lack
agree.
that. We lack that in Atlanta, man.
But the one thing about Mike Vrabel with the Patriots, Robert Kraft wanted the Patriot way without Bill Belichick. Just look at what Mike Vrabel did. Okay, as offensive coordinator, I'm gonna go get the one thing I know at work. Hey, Josh, you want to come be the OC in New England? We got a young quarterback. The one thing I know, you are a hell of an offensive coordinator, a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. Let's bring the Patriot way back with a younger movement with me and you since the whole man is out the way. Okay, boom. And then he built this staff.
Didn't he lead the Patriots one time?
Say that again.
The offensive coordinator that they got.
Yeah, yes. Actually, Josh McDaniels, I think he left to be the head coach of the Broncos at one time, as well as the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, and I believe the head coach of the Raiders before.
Hmm.
But
And
it's
he
just like
figured
Bill
it out.
O'Brien. But it's
Right.
just like Bill O'Brien. When it don't work out as a head coach, Bill O'Brien either go back to the Patriots or when it was Nick Saban, go back to Alabama and be an offensive coordinator.
And I think that's what we need to work on. Um, we just need to get that foundation and that structure solid. Even if it's unconventional, at least make it solid. That way, when you start, even if you downsize or whatever, or you gotta make these what they call them retoolings or these rebuilds, you still not going to be doubted by your fans and by even the analysts in that process. Because look at the stuff that the Falcons
Okay.
are talking
So
about
Miss
right
Pam
now.
said that he turned down the Raiders job,
Okay,
talking about Josh McDaniels.
okay. I've been hearing a lot of negative. Well, I ain't gonna say negative. I'm gonna say controversial discussions. Since we hired Stefanski, and we shouldn't even be talking about that stuff, man. We should be talking about you know how we gonna work. How we gonna make this thing work
Yeah, but
versus what
with
we
the
versus
temperament,
what's going on.
that's just the temperament of the world right now. And with
Right.
what's going on, it's like it's so easy to make everything about that right now with what's going on in the United States. Like it's easily to, oh, okay, boom. Well, I don't like the way this happened. Boom, it got to be that. Got to be the R word. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but I like how Didi Quickobala. I'm sorry that I bashed her name, but I'm glad that she did the interview and broke down how Kevin Stefanski was working with these quarterbacks and how he had a plan tailored for each individual quarterback and how he worked with the starting quarterbacks this week or the quarterback who wasn't starting this week. They still got one-on-one individual work. So I hope that opened the scope into what actually was going on in Cleveland. And then it's more of a bigger picture when you see three coaches already done turned down interviews to take this job.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, with all of these rebuttals coming out, to support this guy, nobody's taking a turn and say, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was involved like that or whatever. And say, hey man, maybe I moved too fast. Maybe I made a quick judgment. And then just make a turn and say, okay, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
let's just let that go and let's just see what we can come up with. Because as fans,
Oh yeah.
especially content
And I'm
creators,
with
you
Miss
guys are
Pam
content
right here.
creators.
Uh,
Go ahead.
And I agree with Miss Pam right here. We have to trust the process. Matt Ryan is the head chief in charge. He is making these decisions. We cannot sit here and say this is the same as Rich McKay because we haven't had Matt Ryan making the decisions before for this franchise. That's why how I say the new era is here. I feel like the change is here. It's been a
Right.
long time coming, and the change is finally here. We finally have a new voice of opinions. We cannot tie him to any of the decisions that got made these last 8 years when it comes to the president of football aspect. Rich McKay has been the president slash CEO from 2011 to 2026. He was a
Right.
voice within this franchise. So the common denominator was Rich McKay. And now that Rich McKay and everybody who was a part of that group is gone. So we're going to have new blood flowing through the halls of Flowery Branch.
Yep, that is true. And when you do that, um, I'm not saying that we make a big difference, but any negativity hurts positive moves. And we as fans, this I think is, and I'm just speaking from where I see it. Um, Sometimes even if we don't agree with a move or whatever, if you're a fan, you still want it to work. So sometimes it's just best
Yeah,
not to say anything. You
but I
know,
get it. I get it where the fans is coming from. Yes, we all wanted an offensive minded head coach. I get it. But who is to say that we would have waited for Clint Kubiak or waited for Joe Brady and they don't turn out to be Arthur Smith? Just look at prime example, the Buffalo Bills. They interviewed Joe Brady. Joe Brady was the OC for the last 5 years. Do you know that these people are contemplating hiring Phillip Rivers to be the head coach?
and look, well, how would that help? Look, if that was our one of our choices.
Come on now, this franchise will go ape shit bananas if Matt Ryan came out and said, "Yeah, you know what? We want to bring in Phillip Rivers or Jeff Saturday to be the head coach of the franchise."
Well, now I always look for upside, right? And I'm thinking, the way that stuff went down, that situation went down during those games. Matt Ryan having the connections that he got, and just his reputation throughout the whole, not only just football but the sports world, and now the broadcasting world. Who can't say that maybe Matt Ryan got a phone call at that particular time and say, "Hey man, I think you need to go on and make your choice because this is what we got going on. And if you don't
Come
make
on
your
now,
choice by
and
the end
then
of
look
this day,
the
go ahead."
oh finish
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah. And who knows that? Because, I use, like I said, I use my corporate experience when I look at the business end. And it's not always right, but that's just all I know. And I know that sometimes you have to make moves based off of information that you get from your credible sources. And I'm thinking Matt Ryan got one of those phone calls, man, that kind of told him that if you wait till tomorrow, your choices are not going to be what they are right now. So,
Come on now, think
hey,
about
man,
it. That
yeah,
same day, John, it took John Harbaugh maybe 5 days to finally sign a contract. So like the Giants didn't even they knew they had John Harbaugh, but what if another team could have did like, hey John, we'll give you 120 million for 5 years or something like that, You know what I'm
right,
saying? To come over there and play it out that way. And then we can't sit here and say that every other team besides Cleveland wanted Kevin Stefanski.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Every
You
team
know,
wanted Kevin Stefanski, and then when it goes back to the say like for the Clint Kubiak, the Raiders' entire organization was at that Indiana versus Miami game. You don't think they're trying to put the hottest OC on the market with the number one overall pick at quarterback?
That's what I'm saying.
Think about it. You ain't heard about no other team waiting for Clint Kubiak, and then look, we had 10 openings. The only teams left is the Browns, the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Browns, the Carters, the Raiders, and the Bills. Those are the only four teams left. The Giants, the Falcons, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Titans all fulfilled their head coaching position. The Falcons, the Giants, the Titans, the Steelers, they all went with experienced head coaches. The Dolphins and the Ravens, they took the top two defensive minded coaches off the board because I thought the Steelers were going to go with Anthony Weaver, but they
Mhm.
flipped the script and went with an offensive minded head coach and Mike McCarthy. So how did you think about that decision? The Pittsburgh Steelers signing Mike McCarthy to be their head coach at 62 years old.
Well, with the history of the other Steelers, I didn't think it was a bad move. Um, I don't know if they even were aware that they were going to need a head coach after that game. I don't know, what kind of conversations they had. So no, it wasn't a bad move. But see, the thing about it is, with those moves like that, that right there, you know, further supports me trying to understand why Matt Ryan went ahead and without a GM went ahead and picked that head coach that they got. And even and this guy knew he was gonna bring his assist with his offense coordinator with him. So I mean you gotta respect
But
that move based
even
off of
if he
all of the other
didn't bring his
information.
offensive coordinator, I look at it like with the head coaching moves, you had 10 teams looking for head coaches. You only had two teams looking for GMs, and then the Dolphins already picked their GM. So I felt like the head coaching position and filling out the coaching staff was a more of a urgency than filling out the GM position since we're the only team looking for a GM. As long as we have the GM in place before the Senior Bowl and stuff like that, I feel like we'll be all right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with that part. The sense of urgency is not just based off of what you got. You gotta look at the competitors in the market and what their needs are. And it does affect you making a move. Because I'm telling you, if let's just say right now we didn't have a head coach, how would we be looking now as far as prospects?
Man, like people think that Matt Ryan got crucified for this Stefanski pick. Let us not have a head coach right now, and six other teams already picked the head coach. It'll really be a Brain got the pitchforks on Matt Ryan. Like it'll be a oh no, Matt Ryan has to go immediately type of party if we didn't have a head coach right now.
And
Because
by
what other
me,
options are out there besides a first time head coach? A route that, if we're going to be honest, nobody wanted to go down that route again of having a first time head coach. That's why as soon as the rumors of a John Harbaugh or a Mike Tomlin, even a Mike McCarthy came out, they was with it. Like fans was like, I would take a John Harbaugh. I would take a Mike Tomlin
I don't think them guys
because
are
of the
coming to Atlanta
leadership.
though. I don't think they were coming, bro.
Mm, I mean, when you think about it, we giving Stefanski the same type of power that John Harbaugh getting in New York. You're having your, even though John Harbaugh didn't pick showing his name, the GM and the Giants, he has say so over the roster. That's why I felt like Stefanski wanted to have say so in the GM because him and the GM in Cleveland wasn't on the same page of where they wanted to build his roster. So I feel like you picking your head coach, a guy who's been there, done that, and he wants to have a say so in picking that GM to make sure that the vision is cohesive. I understand it completely. So we know we're not going into this war room on two different pages. The way that we just seen it was with the Michael Penix draft, because
You're
it's
right.
coming out now that right after Terry made that pick, that whole video that everybody was wondering about, he was really explaining to Arthur Blank, "Hey, this is why we took this quarterback."
I agree. I mean, why you got to explain? Why you got to explain it?
If you right here in this moment and it's on the clock and you gotta explain why you just picked this quarterback, something ain't right.
And then they
But
get
I
tapped
felt
in the
like if we
backfield
would
and,
have
and
made
go
the
down.
playoffs, but I feel like if we would have made the playoffs either of these years, then it wouldn't have mattered. It would have swept on the rug because we got to where we wanted to get to, the playoffs with a
Of
chance to win the
course.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. But the way it went, you had some events, unfortunate events that happened that played a part in it. So sometimes when you roll the
Oh
dice,
yeah.
man, that's just how it go.
hmm But I'm glad that we're at where we're at, man. Like I'm really excited where we're getting a clean slate for this team. Like we moving forward, we cannot keep bringing up the past with this new regime. Just like we couldn't blame Terry and Arthur Smith and Raheem Morris for losing the Super Bowl or losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. We can't blame this new regime coming in for drafting Michael Penix after paying a quarterback 180 million. We can't blame them for losing for a month straight in 2 seasons. Like we got to come in here with an even mind and a clear playing field. Like, hey, we got a brand new regime. This regime has nothing to do with prior in Atlanta. We hoping that this new regime can just move us forward. That's all we can ask for is that this new regime come in here and just wipe off the stink of losing that we have been enduring for the last 8 seasons.
Yeah, that's gonna be and the more we hold on to that, you know, that's just gonna be one of those things, man, that it's gonna hurt worse than what it should, just by holding on
Yeah,
to it.
because if we keep holding on to it, no matter what we do, we will never be happy with this franchise. Because soon as something good happen, we always gonna keep going back to the negative. Like, and I felt like, as we stated before on different streams, that letter to the fans, Arthur Blank, he understands. Like, hey, all right, my fans are tired of losing it. If we don't change the narrative or change the product that's being placed on this field, we're not going to have fans in the stands. We're not going to have fans buying the PSLs. No matter what these players are, we're not going to have nobody buying jerseys, no matter if it's Bijan, Drake, or anybody, because nobody's going to want to support a losing franchise when it's going on almost a decade of losing.
Hey man, let me and Auntie Pam is in the chat. So I got me a cosigner about this. All of this stuff about not buying tickets and you know boycotting the Falcons and all of that, man, that's cap. If you made the commitment to become a PSL owner and you paid your for your licenses, you're not gonna forfeit your seats, man. That's cap, man. Unless you got money like that. So I think that's cap. I think it's just talk. Um, because I'm not. I'm I would do something else before I forfeit my license, man. Even if well, I'm not gonna get into details with that, but before I give up my seats, I I would do something else. But all of these people is talking that, and I'm not knocking nobody that don't go to the games or whatever. Everybody do whatever is best for them. But the people that are saying that are probably more than likely the people that are not going to the beans. Those are the people that don't have no money, pretty much no money invested in the Falcons, other than their cable bill. I'm just saying. So when I get a
Man,
little
no matter
touchy
where I
with that,
live.
Uh-huh.
No matter where I lived, I always tried to, if the Falcons is in the area or even when I'm back in Georgia, I tried to make sure I go to a game.
Yeah. And that's so I hear people saying that, and I'm saying, man, I bet you them cats don't even go to the games at all. So to me, that's cap. You're not going to give away you're not going to let $3 or $4 thousand, based off of where you are. And even the people down low, oh, they spending a grip, bro. They spend a grip on those license. And then just gonna say, oh man, I'm mad because of the football season, or the 8 years. I'm not gonna go to any more games. Come on, man. And then they're gonna resell them because somebody gonna buy them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people. They talk
Okay.
about it's
So
business at the end of the day.
three
It's
dirty. Let me.
okay. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
So since we was talking about what the Atlanta Falcons is going to do for quarterback, here
Okay.
is the list of the top 20 free agent quarterbacks heading into 2026. At
Okay.
number one, they got Daniel Jones. Number two, they got Aaron Rodgers. Number three, they got Joe Flacco, Marcus Mariota, Jimmy G, Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson, Malik Willis, Tyrod Taylor, Trey Lance to round out the top 10. 11 through 20, they got Easton Stick, Mike White, Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Sam Ellinger, Will Greer, Kyle Allen, Logan Woodside, Davis Mills, and Shane Boucher. But I think Davis Mills signed a 1 year extension with Houston, so he's not going to be a free agent until 2027. But out of this list of quarterbacks, do could you see one of these quarterbacks coming in and being a bridge quarterback until Michael Penix is ready to lead this franchise? You, you there, 330?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had hit the mute button. Okay, the top 10 is pretty solid with the free agents. But again, the window is what would be a factor in which one of those quarterbacks I get, because you probably got some 8 or 9 game quarterbacks in that free agent list that can be strong for like a Flacco.
Yeah.
Flacco probably good for 8 or 9 games, man. I'm talking strong.
And, and with
And
this
then
being a play action heavy, run heavy type of team,
right,
I feel like a lot of these quarterbacks could come in and be a solid bridge until Michael Penix is ready to come back.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, but just from my standpoint, I don't think that Malik needs to come to Atlanta either, and you know why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like Malik Willis, I feel like I think the Packers might keep him just on the strength of hasn't it been 2 years now that Jordan Love done went down and Malik Willis done had to come in and fill in for Jordan Love. So I think they'll probably try to keep him the same way the Houston Texans locked up Davis Mills for CJ.
yeah. But that's what would happen for me, based off of the window, and I would get the best quarterback for that could play, the maximum amount of games in that window and gonna give me some good play. And
Of course,
then,
but that's what I was saying earlier. But
right.
that's what I was saying earlier. Why not just go get a quarterback for 1 year and allow Michael Penix to be 100% in 2027? Depending on depending on how that quarterback does in 2026, he will come into 2027 with a quarterback competition with Michael Penix, or in 2027 we draft a quarterback. Don't have to be first round, but you still draft a quarterback to have a quarterback competition with Michael Penix.
I thought I'm trying to look it up. I thought San Francisco had a backup quarterback that was going free agent.
I think Mac Jones is still under quarterback.
Okay, because I wanted him. I wanted Mac Jones.
Yeah, but see, my whole thing with Mac Jones is that's the type of quarterback. Are you looking for him to be a bridge, or are you looking for him to come in and take over the job like a Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold?
Um, well, well, we'll call it a bridge quarterback. Yeah, because I mean he's a backup quarterback right now. So I mean he could compete. You can't stop a person from competing. I think he would compete, and it's up to Matt Ryan and the boys to figure that out.
But yeah, just look at Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was a backup quarterback at one point. Daniel Jones was a backup quarterback last year in Minnesota behind Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy before becoming a starter in Indianapolis. So it's like, is it just you getting into the right situation? Like, what if we do go after Mac Jones and Mac Jones come in here and just light it up in his offense? Or are you
Hey,
gonna take him away from being a starter, or are you gonna allow him to continue to be the starter and move on from Michael Penix?
hey man, with the experiences that we done had, I would play it by ear, man. Just like when Russell Wilson came to Seattle, they had that crazy contract with the guy from Green Bay, and
Mm-hmm.
they was like, nah, man. You know what? We got plenty of money. We just don't, but we need a quarterback more than we need money. So they just let that guy go. So
Like that's gonna be one of the first things that the GM and Kevin Stefanski gonna have to get down is what's the path for quarterback for these Atlanta Falcons? Are we gonna go the semi bridge? Somebody just come in, hey, we only need you. We only need you for a few games. Or are we gonna go the full bridge to where, hey, we're gonna keep you for 2026. 2026, this is your season.
well, don't tell them
But
it's their
after that,
season. Just give them a 1 year contract and say, look, man, this is what we got going on. The same thing like they did with Stefanski. I'm pretty sure they told him in the meeting, hey man, we would really love to keep Obert
yeah.
with your blessings. I
And
think that's
then
what they would do.
wide receiver, like just like for wide receiver, do we keep Mooney or do we let Mooney walk off into the free agency? And I think we save like 12 million if we part ways with Mooney. I mean, just going off the top three names in free agency, you got George Pickens, Alec Pierce, or Romeo Dobbs. I would love any one of them to be a number two to Drake.
Well, yeah. But we definitely need a guy that can take the top off, and not taking nothing away from Drake, but Drake is not going to take the top off of no defense. He's a 50-50 guy, and that's what he do. But we need somebody to go up top, especially if we're gonna have Penix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Seattle when they got Rashid. Especially for special teams, and he can take that thing over the top. Hold on 1 second, man.
All right. Come on, everybody. Tap that link. Come on in and discuss these Atlanta Falcons with your boy, Georgia, Texas. Boy, come on now. But yeah, man, Kevin Stefanski and his new GM, whoever this new GM is going to be, they got some stuff to do with this roster. Well, we got some free agents to look at too, whether it's retaining our own or bringing in some new, and as well as this draft. Do we stay at pick 48 for our first pick, or do we try to move up in the second round or move up into the first round? We got some tough questions to make. We got some tough questions to answer. Do we look at the draft for a quarterback? Like we know the Fernando Mendozas, the Ty Simpsons, they're out of our range. Dante Moore went back to Oregon. What about a Lenore Sellers? Do we look at him in the third or fourth round, or Garrett Nussmeyer, or maybe a John Mateer? What about Carson Beck? What about Stetson Bennett? Like I feel like the quarterback situation is one of the main situations that needs to be handled in Atlanta. Like, un- if we know that Michael Penix Jr. is the franchise quarterback, what is the plans until he is ready to be 100%? That's where that's where we have to ask ourselves here in Atlanta. We got any questions in the chat?
All right, man, I'm back. I had to take that call.
Yes, sir. I see Dirty Bird Fly Through just went live.
Oh, he did?
Yep, just went live.
Okay.
But yeah, Falcons family, hit that link. Come in. Let's discuss these Dirty Birds. Let's discuss the new direction of these Falcons. Whether you like it or you don't like it, express yourself.
Yeah, I tried to get him. I let him know you was live.
So, what you look forward to for this next season, three Dirty? Like, if you had to put your stamp on one thing that you're looking for out of Kevin Stefanski and this new reform leadership that we have in Atlanta, what is it that you're looking for?
Well, see, with me myself, I don't. I understand wins and losses, right? Um, but my thing with the wins and losses is how you lose. If you make mistakes, if you don't handle stuff that you're in control of, and you're supposed to be a professional, then I have issues with that. You know, I want us to play smart football. I want us to um
All right,
um.
welcome Miss Pam to the stage. How you doing, Miss Pam?
Hey, Miss Pam, but
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing?
I'm great.
Uh, Congratulations on the launching of your podcast.
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
can you hear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
How you doing?
yeah, I'm doing good. Congratulations on your launching of your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh huh.
Thank you. Th- Thank you for your support.
Uh huh. Um, what was the question? I'm sorry, I just came in.
You breaking up, Miss Pam?
Okay. Oh, let's see. Hang on just a second.
Hey, look, they got that weather going on down there. Maybe that Wi-Fi cutting up.
Welcome,
Hey,
welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, Miss Maggie T. How you doing?
I'm good. I got some
Oh,
time. I was
we
like, I
got
catch you
royalty in the
live.
building.
Can y'all hear me
Right.
now?
Yes,
Miss
ma'am. We sure
Pam.
can.
Hey, Maggie.
So, so,
Hey.
so, how y'all feel about this new direction of our Atlanta Falcons?
Um, I'm like I said, I'm trusting in Matt Ryan. I am not one of those people that is, of course, yeah, I watched the show. We're not over panickers or, oh my God, they should have went with this person. Realistically, some of these head coaches that they are eyeing are either not available or already had their, like Matt has a plan. He also has his mentors and people he can kind of reach out to help him navigate his best move. So I'm sure every step he's calculated to the T, to the point where they probably already have an idea who is the GM. They just haven't announced it. And of course, I'm sure the GM that's going to come in is going to be what works best for them. And it might not even be a flashy, popular person. It's going to be what works best because we want every position to kind of gel with each other, because it seemed like everybody wasn't on the same page as far as the vision. So they want the best fit where they kind of come together and it's like, this makes a whole lot of sense. So me personally, I'm just going to sit back and just watch it unfold and go from there. And of course, we got the draft, free agency coming up, because the team itself is still talented. We just need the right coaches to coach them. So, I know Stefanski wasn't the most popular and everybody's wilding out, but he's also was in the top 5 list of candidates out there. It's just,
Oh yeah.
I guess a lot of the people go what the media says, then they run with it. Oh yeah, they said Harbaugh, so I think that's who it needs to be. Or, it's like, y'all do your own research, go to YouTube, watch these coaches and look up their history and make your own sound decision on who you think is best versus what someone else tells you. That's all. That's where I'm at with it.
That's it. That's all. Miss Pam, you got anything to add to what Miss McAtee was saying?
Yeah, I agree with the first lady AFN say, but
Eh?
also, I trust Matt Ryan with having 14 years of in the league, and he probably been in the front office. You don't know what experience he had behind the scenes, but I I think he did his due diligence, and he when that come down to it, the head coach is the right coach for this team, you know. And I trust the process. So I'm looking forward to it because I think he's gonna be in charge of what coaching staff he's gonna put in place. I mean, because he got to run it through Matt Ryan, and it's got to be proved by him. So, like I said, I trust him, and he is pretty much accountable for whatever going on with this team. So he, like I said, he's the head chief in charge.
I I agree 100% to where both of y'all said. I'm behind Matt all the way. Like, who else could we have brought in to fill this position who understand where we're coming from as Atlanta Falcons fans than Matt Ryan? I mean, it could have been Julio if it would have ended different. Could have been Roddy White if it would have ended different. I feel like at the end of the day, who else signifies winning in Atlanta better than Matt Ryan?
And can I add something to that, Georgia, Texas, because they was on our show earlier. I hope I don't have an echo because some reason I have echo. But someone said it. They was like, Matt Ryan mentioned that when he's interviewing these people and he's a part of that whole thing, he's looking at it from the standpoint of if I was still the quarterback, who will I feel will be best for business for to improve me and develop me and etc. as a player. So he's not only is he looking at it from a player perspective, which is gives an advantage versus a non-football minded person that comes in here just about the money. But you get both angles. And of course, he's been around the league now where he has to sit. He used to sit and analyze a lot of these games because he has to talk about them. And with that, he got respect from people across the league that, you know, gives him advice and helps him with his, when he used to do the CBS deal, I think that gave him another outlook of, anything outside of the Atlanta Falcons as well. So to me, I think he is qualified to make decisions here because he's been in Atlanta Falcons. We always said, hey, we want somebody that's an alumni to the team, knows the culture, etc. Took us to the damn Super Bowl. So what better person than Matt Ryan to do the job?
You
And
said
once again,
two. You said
I
two
agree.
key words in that I agree
Plus,
with.
Arthur, could I say something? I'm sorry. I didn't
Go
mean to
ahead.
interrupt. Plus, Arthur Blank, I think when he decided to bring him in for that 1 year deal to retire as the Falcons, and he's been, like I said, he's been coming to the training camp and getting to know, getting to looking at the players and stuff with his twin boys. Of course, he was at the training camp last summer. So I think he has the better angle on what the team's needs at this point. I say.
All right, 330, you can finish what you were saying,
Okay,
and let's
I'm gonna
welcome
say
Dirty
this, and I'm
Bird
gonna
fly
let
through to the chat.
right. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna back out. But Maggie T just said some important two words: trust and respect. Um, is a great thing to have when especially when you in a changing process. So, and I think that's what Matt Ryan represents at this point. No matter what anybody says, you can't deny that he's respected in the league, respected by the fans, respected by the players, and for the most part, we trust him. So
Hmm.
those were two good points that she made.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
and like I feel like if it was anybody else, we will feel different because we'll still be feeling like this person coming in still don't know what it means to win for the Falcons. They still bringing in an outside perspective, but where Matt he's bringing in an outside perspective as well as an inside perspective of what it takes to win for this franchise.
I'm saying it got a little silent up in here.
What's
Shoot.
going on, Dirty Bird? Fly through. What's going on, brother?
Oh no, I was doing
Hey, what's
something. I
up,
was trying to
man?
make sure this is
Hey,
broadcast that
Slim.
way it can bring us some more audience. So that's what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
doing.
I just shared it on my platform too. Hey, what's
Yeah.
going on? What's going y'all? What's going on, ladies? What's going on, OG? What's going on, Georgia
Hey, how
Sessions?
you doing?
How you doing?
Oh man, we doing good, man. It's a Sunday evening talking about these Dirty Birds, man. I wish we was talking about us in this NFC Championship game, but we'll be there one day.
For sure.
Shit, maybe it may be sooner rather than later. It just depends on how they build this all season.
So what you
Hey
think about the
Maggie, I
good
don't.
moves that's been made?
Well, I mean, I think as far as I was gonna actually go live myself and talk about kind of the press conference on Tuesday, but then I saw you on, and yeah, I had to come show some support to you. I mean, so far, man, I mean, it's to me, I don't, I haven't seen anything to be discouraged so far, but I'm kind of at the point where you gotta really show me as this thing goes on as they go. I mean, we still don't got a general manager, and I mean, they don't necessarily have to rush to get a general manager too. If they wanted to, they could spend another week or two before they hire a general manager. But I really think it's going to come down to what they do at quarterback this off season, and then what they do, in the draft, how they maybe also open up some salary cap, and then, I mean, but what really matters to me is what goes on the field. Because I mean, let's be completely honest for a second. We have been hyped up for now the past 3 off seasons of being the best team in the division. We're going to win the division. We're going to make the playoffs, and we've always fallen short of expectations. I'm at the point where I don't really care how much hype there is. I need to see it actually happen on the field. because that's all that matters. This isn't one on paper. This is one on the field. But I mean, so far, I don't got anything to complain about.
Okay, I'm
And
back. Yeah, I'm
Maggie,
sorry about that.
and
I'm here.
Maggie, I don't know if you remember, we actually have met before. We met at the draft party last year. Me and Will, the real tall guy. You remember us?
Yeah, I remember. I love going to these things and meeting so many people. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
are y'all
it was
going to
great.
are y'all going to Flowery Branch this year? Because I did at least a couple of times there. That's what I'm looking forward
Man,
to.
I haven't hit up Flowery Branch too much. I might make my way up there this year. I'll just have to see how it falls. But I mean, sitting outside in that Georgia sun. Luckily, most times it's at 10 a.m. So it ain't at the height of the
Oh,
day when it's
they got a
95
cool
outside.
shade up top. You
Yeah,
don't
they
have
got
to.
yeah, they got we could be sheltered. We
Yeah,
don't have to be directly in the sun.
me
Mhm.
and the Disney way, pitch out up the hill, up top the hill in the shade. That's the best spot.
And they got the cooling
That sounds
tower
good.
that stays with the ice water around your necks. Then, of course, you wear your bucket hats and drink plenty of water and stuff. They make it where it's comfortable for you, but it's still hot as hell. But you don't
Oh
necessarily have to
yeah.
be directly in the sun.
Mhm.
Yeah, that and just it really hasn't worked out for me because I mean I'm like close to 2 hours from Flowery Branch actually, so like I just haven't been able to find the right morning to go. I have went up there before, but I just ain't been able to find the right morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm further away from Flowery Branch House, so I'm in Columbus, so
Shit.
it,
That's right. Yeah, she's coming a long way as well. But she does that as a season ticket holder and everything. That's
Well, Miss Pam, you're just built different than the rest of us.
I think when
Didn't you
I
go to
went to my first game, I was hooked on it. So
did,
so I have to
oh yeah,
thank
but
my
didn't you go
husband,
to
and a friend of
Germany
his had a
also?
season ticket, and he had went to a game, I think, against it was a Washington game without me because the friend had actually invited me. And he called me, and I said, if you call again, you're gonna get locked out the door because I'm mad because you at the game and I should be at the game. And so I think he ended up talking to this friend who ended up giving up the two ticket, which was to the Green Bay Packer game. And they of course won that game. So once I went to that first game, I was hooked ever since.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, hadn't missed a game since then. And that was in the Georgia Dome. Because my first game was against the Green Bay Packer, and the last game was in the Georgia Dome with the Green Bay Packer. So that's
that's
a
crazy.
neat history for
Oh
me
man,
right
that's
there.
tight right
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
And they won both games. So I actually witnessed you know, them closing that stadium down with a win, the NFC championship, and that was really, really nice.
Okay, so what are y'all thoughts on these new jerseys, these new uniforms? Like, what type of concepts y'all thinking we should be looking forward to?
I'm
I'm
excited. Hey,
thinking
I'm thinking
old
it might be
school.
they might have the old school Falcon logo on one of them, I think.
I'm going.
And I was told it was gonna be the red helmets or something.
I'm going to
But
be honest.
I'm just curious to look and see what concept they come up with. I mean we definitely need a new change of uniform. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
going to be honest. I'm just speaking for myself. Honestly, go back to the old logo. Make it the permanent logo. Make the throwbacks permanent. Bring back the old white jerseys. Bring back gray pants. I mean, bring back a red. It sounds like that's what they're going to do. Now, I don't know if they're going to make the throwback logo permanent. I still think they are going to stick with the new era logo, but I have heard that they might go back to a red helmet full time, and it sounds like they are going to bring back gray pants and the jerseys are going to look a lot like how some of the throwback jerseys have looked as well.
As
So
long as they don't have the alarm
I'm
clock
excited
letters,
about that.
as long as they
Yeah.
don't have those digital clock letters, I'll be happy about that.
Where the 11 looked like 77.
Yeah, man. We got man. It looked like they were wearing fucking nightgowns out there. Let's just be real.
And not the gradient jersey. It's ugly. Those things were
I didn't even
terrible.
hate that gradient jersey as bad at first, but I mean, yeah, I tried to let them grow on me, but I just when they announced new uniforms were coming, like because I actually saw the report even before the season, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time for a change because I mean we ain't done anything in these uniforms. Like it's like they've been bad luck.
Right. And we're winning in the ones that, when we do the throwback. So it's like, might as well just keep them going.
By the
My
way,
biggest
Dirty
thing, though,
texted me and
is
said his phone died, so
okay. I
yeah,
feel
so he should be back.
he'll be back. Okay. I think they need to also change the our slogan. If they go on new jerseys, we need a new slogan to go with that
Oh,
jersey.
please get rid of the.
I'm so
I
sick
don't
of
even
rising
wanna
up
say
and
it.
not rising up.
I don't even want to say it. That's how much I. And like the thing is, I had to ditch that completely. Like go to. You have so many options that you could come up with, and yet you still stuck with this same old thing. But yeah, I mean, this is the time to really just push it out and push something new in. I mean, it does feel like a new era.
Yeah, I mean, I think because with the way they restructured the way that we do business, as far as having Matt Ryan come in, as they created the position for him, where the GM and everybody has to go through him, as well as I just feel that how it happened, where when the season ticket holders and the fans was like, nah, off the blank, we're mad, we upset. They actually made off the blank jump and do something. I said, if we get enough people to complain about Rise Up, hit up Flowery Branch, email, call, whatever they need to do, and say we're sick of it, hopefully they'll start considering it. We just need our fan base to rally around it and say, hey, you got new uniforms. We got time. We got until April or whatever, until the draft. Like, we make enough noise and rally behind it. Like all creators, content creators, just come together and say, everybody just hit up Flowery Branch, email them.
I think the new
And
jerseys
look,
coming out draft week. That's when we're gonna find out about the new jerseys.
Yeah.
they absolutely keep a tabs on what is said online and what the fans are doing. I mean, I know for me myself, and if Dirty were up here, he could tell you about it. But I definitely made my frustration very vocal, and I so much as so. I mean, look, I went right down there and showed them my frustration. So there wasn't any hiding my feelings on Raheem Morris or these especially Rich McKay too. All those guys. That's why when they got fired, I felt very satisfied. Never been more excited to see people lose their jobs.
But I was side-eyeing off the blank, because it's like you told us
I, for
last
one, didn't
year
think they were going to pull
that,
the trigger on that.
yeah,
I
Rich
was I
McKay
was
was done.
pleasantly surprised of that.
Yeah. Like, y'all lied to us about his dealings. That's why
Yes, they
680 the
did.
fan kind of, had pretty much cornered him and was like, we're going to ask you some questions. What is your role here?
And then he
got
got
put
all
on the
combative, like,
spot.
no, that isn't what we're here for. We're here for Arthur to accept this award and this that. So I mean, shout out to 680 for calling Rich McKay out on his bullshit.
Hey, but moves like that in sportology, if those moves don't happen, Rich McKay will probably still be here.
Right.
You would have never had Matt Ryan in here. I can guarantee you that.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
There is no Matt Ryan in this building right now without Rich McKay being gone.
It was just like we stated before. If it was not for Sportology, Arthur Blank would not have pulled the string to say, Rich McKay, you got to get out of here.
And that says
But
a lot,
you know
though,
what's
because
oh yeah.
them to come in and audit this team and say, Arthur, yeah, your operation, you need to blow it all up. What are you doing over here?
Man, and the fact that he even had to bring a consultant firm in the first place too.
Right.
It's like it's going to show, okay, you got this investment, you're at every game, you're sitting here. I mean, we saw how they all sat together during the Rams game. That shit was totally exposed. You got Rich McKay sitting in the middle like he's the owner. You got Arthur Blank not knowing. Yeah. You got Arthur Blank. You got Arthur Blank not knowing what to do. So I mean, that really goes to, I think, speak volumes that it got so bad, and I think Arthur Blank got so out of touch with the team. He had to bring this firm in to even explain to him what the hell was going on.
Yeah. And then because, like, from the outside looking in,
if you would have just went into the stands and asked the fans, you could have gotten that. You could have saved millions of dollars. You could have gotten that advice for free from the fans of what you need to do.
And from the outside looking in, it kind of looked like Rich McKay was taking advantage of Arthur Blank.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he definitely was. Yeah.
Now, who hired the consulting firm? Do you think it was somebody under Blank saying, like, because we got to think about it. Arthur Blank he ain't a spring chicken no more. So maybe his son or somebody was kind of on the, like, look. That's now, Dan,
thinking.
It might have been. Well, something's gonna have to shake here. Your decision making, you're not as keen as you used to be. Let's bring in somebody else that can kind of help you here.
Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all are on. I mean, I'm sure a lot of y'all are on Twitter. I don't know if y'all saw the report that was tweeted out. I'm forgetting who it was that tweeted out, but I saw somewhere that it was actually Josh who made the decision to fire Raheem.
Oh, was it?
I can go back and see, but I could have sworn I saw that somewhere.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because he said his son is, I forgot what he said in the press conference when he was introducing Matt Ryan. I got to go back and watch it, but he had mentioned just, he's very, very much involved in a lot of the process, and he's really showing him the ropes. And, I really feel that he did have definitely a hand in all of that occurred this offseason.
Oh, yeah. And if you look at the moves that's been happening this offseason, it could almost be like, okay, let me get the right pieces in place to turn this team over to my son.
Right. See, I didn't think about that. I mean, of course, we know that's the end goal, but it's like, if I'm going to turn this over to my son, I got to make sure it's right.
Yeah, and but then that still go back to the fact of if Terry and Raheem would have made one playoff game, they would have still have been here. But the point of the fact that we didn't make the playoffs and our division was won with an 8-9 record, and we didn't win the division, you got to go.
Shit. Oh yeah.
And everybody kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna give Raheem 3 years," but it's like, but that's what they're used to. If you really want to make a statement, you change it up. Like, no, I'm all about production, and what he said, they didn't produce what they told us, so they had to go. And then of course, one thing was 5 years in, so it's like 5 years at general manager, and we're still over here in a hellhole of quarterback situations right now.
And I get what Terry was trying to do. You was trying to kill two birds with one stone,
right?
Getting the quarterback of the present and the quarterback of the future. But once again, you allowed your head coach to go against the plan that y'all stated was the plan.
And then if you're gonna get your quarterback from today and the future, I wouldn't have given him all that money either. Like, who do you think Kirk Cousins is?
Yeah.
You paying him like he's just elite.
I'm gonna
He's
be
coming off an
completely.
injury and
I'm gonna
clearly
be
wasn't
completely
completely
honest.
healthy.
And this is just me. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. It's just a feeling I got, but I do think I saw something a while back that may have confirmed this. That call to bench Kirk at the end of that season a couple of years ago and put Penix in there. We had 3 games left after we won on that Monday night versus the Raiders. That actually wasn't a Raheem call. He was told to do that by someone.
Oh, because other people because of course,
And
clearly,
like I
like you
said,
said, as
there
the
was a-
fans, we can clearly see there was something wrong with them. It was clearly that he was declining. It's like, so it shouldn't even gotten to that point. It should have gotten to the point when we first started seeing he was throwing them damn interceptions. Like, hey, what's up? Your game don't change dramatically. What's happening here? That's how I feel about it. It says, so this was Arthur Blake's last swing at a Super Bowl before he handed over to Josh. Terry got fired because of Raheem, and Raheem got fired trying to defend Zach Robinson. Ooh. They value friendship over success on this job. That will go wrong every time. And that's what it is. I think when Raheem Morris came out there and said, I am standing behind Zach Robinson, and Terry didn't stop it, didn't say, wait a minute now. What?
And Marquise Williams.
And oh gosh.
Because and then it's like it was with the Ike Hilliard. Yes, Ike Hilliard got fired for
what?
Wide receiver performances, but name one wide receiver who produced this season not named Drake.
Actually, if you look at it over the course of what they were doing versus the 3 games when they did have Hilliard in, and after they fired Hilliard for the rest of the year, the wide receiver room across the board, the paces that they were on got exponentially worse.
And that's why that whole Ray thing is just it's interesting. I would love to really be on the fly on I would love to talk to him.
Man, come on. I think Ray like stood out, and Ray was like and Ray he already got a relationship with Mike. So Ray probably was like, hey, why y'all just letting them hang? Like, you're not designing an offense for Mike. Like, it had to be something so detrimental that he could not be a part of this team no more. But if it was just Raheem and his feelings,
it was Raheem and his feelings. He was because when they start talking about healthy scratch, that was done purposely.
Oh yeah, and man, I remember it was right before the Buffalo game. They announced the inactives, and I'm in the stadium. I'm looking at the inactives. I'm like, why the hell is Ray inactive?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, Atlanta Falcons fan? Divot, welcome to the show,
y'all.
brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. I'll sit back listening to y'all and doing a little barbecuing for my wife.
Barbecuing?
Yeah, I barbecue all the time. All the time.
Got a grill outside, man. It's too cold.
Oh no, ma'am.
Hey, what you got on there though? What you got on there?
Well, it's raining for her. I don't know where you at.
And all that rain.
Yeah, I'm clearing out the freezer. What I'm doing, making way for some new meat that I got coming. So we're grilling up everything just in case the power go out.
Oh, that's smart though.
Yeah. So all I'm doing is just clearing out the freezer. Yeah, because I have a calf killed just about every year. So I say a cow is killed every year. So I got to make room, and I'm giving away meat and cooking it up and giving it away, shall I say? Let's put it like that. But yeah,
man,
just in case the power go out, we'll have something
list of shipping.
Man, I'm 2 years removed, man. Ever since I moved out here to this city life, man, I don't get no more cows and hogs no more, man.
Well, we travel down to Sparta. I got a second home down there in Sparta, Georgia. So
Okay.
yeah, we got a lot of connections down there. Yeah. But I'm gonna get y'all thinking about something right quick. I think the trust was lost long before this season and even last season. I think it started all the way back to where we decided to take Michael Penix in the draft. Because if y'all remember during that draft, that was a unanimous decision to go edge rusher up until the point Terry Fontenot sent the word that we was picking Michael Penix. Because if you remember, Arthur Blank was taken back himself. He didn't know what was going on. But when they showed the picture of the war room, you saw Terry Fontenot having to explain to Arthur Blank what went wrong. So Arthur Blank was under the impression we was going edge rusher. Now, Arthur Blank let it go, right? Because evidently Terry Fontenot convinced him, hey, this is great. This is a great move. This is where we need to be at. Arthur Blank, okay, maybe it worked. And that was lost because one thing you don't do is one thing he's already gambling with other people's money. What you plan on doing with their money? You know what I mean? So and the thing, once that trust was broken, and the season went on as it did, it was already the moves were already being made, and that's why you saw Raheem crash out time after time after time. He knew he was out the door. He knew he didn't have a chance, and then you start seeing other things happening. The drama was coming about. Drake London's crashing out on the sideline. Drake London's tweet, Ray McLeod situation. I mean,
you got
we don't have
our
that
quarterback talk about he can't go to his mentors on his team. I can't go to my players and get advice.
Exactly.
I can't go to my head coach to get advice. What kind of mess is that?
Exactly.
What these guys
you have
time.
Never heard that. Exactly.
Ever.
And you have never heard that from no other player in history. You've never heard that. So
right.
We got a quarterback.
We ain't even hear that from Desmond Ridder.
Right.
Yeah, from what? That was a abomination from the get-go. They should have never even picked him. But when you have your franchise quarterback, supposedly your future, comes off the field and goes over there and sits on the sideline like he's in timeout, with nobody giving him no instruction, even especially after a bad series. What you want to see is your quarterback talking to your offensive coordinator, talking to your quarterback's coach, and then you turn around and have a press conference, and like Ms. Maggie said, oh, I'm going to my wife for answers. Now, that's not saying that women don't know football, because obviously, like Ms. Maggie, there are women that know football.
Well, no, but that means that's my support system. That's my backbone. So I'm gonna say my wife or fiance, because she's the one I went through my career with me. So yeah, I'm gonna rely on her because I can't go to nobody else.
Yeah, right. But you're not gonna actually look for answers to the problem that you're having on the field. When they say, hey, who are you talking to? Who are you looking for to develop you? You're not going to say your wife.
Who can he talk to?
You're going to say somebody that's organization that's right there on sidelines with you. That's one thing going forward.
You had Penix on the sidelines last year with all the life sucked out of him after he throws an interception. I mean, I'm going to ask the question. What the fuck is your wife going to do to solve that?
But that go back to Raheem.
Your wife breaking up the playbook with you, going through film?
You got a first-time quarterback coach in DJ Williams. You got a passing game coordinator in TJ Yates, who you took him from his job to be a wide receiver coach. So now you got the one experienced guy.
That was a mistake. You stretched that man too thin.
Person who can help Michael Penix and TJ Yates. You got him over here with the wide receivers.
Yeah. Yeah, and TJ Yates originally is a quarterback's coach. He has been the offensive coordinator, not offensive coordinator, the offensive passing game coordinator. He has been the wide receivers coach. He's been the quarterback's coach. I'm like, when is this man going to have time? Because he is a great quarterback's coach if he's given that responsibility. But they keep jerking him out of that position, putting him in another position every time we change a coach. And it just because I don't know how much more a quarterback can tell a wide receiver what to do. Now, granted, there are some quarterbacks that are that smart. They can say, "Hey, look, when the defense is looking like this is what I want you to do." Now they can establish that chemistry that kind of way, but to tell a receiver about his mechanics, about his route running, that is not a quarterback coach's job. You know what I mean? I mean, you want a guy that knows that position. Ike Hilliard, as fortunate as he is, you would want somebody in that position that knows wide receivers. And Ike Hilliard knew wide receivers, and he became the scapegoat because I think he questioned Raheem Morris, and Raheem Morris didn't have enough pride to swallow it. I mean, and I think, yeah, well, man, and I think Gregory McLeod he suffered the same fate. Yeah, very much so, very much so. You would think, you know, man, that's Raheem with his limited experience.
Jared ended up leaving here.
Yeah.
Because
I mean that's what we thought that, and that's what we hoping we were getting. That Raheem Morris, you going to the Rams and being able to sit under Sean McVay and seeing how he operates, you should be able to come in here and operate a team in some sort of the same type of fashion. Not necessarily the same way 100%, but you should understand the concept of winning football.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what did Dan Quinn, right? He didn't learn the offensive aspect of the game like he does now. He knows it now. But when he was here, he did not know it. He relied on Shanahan to make the decision. Yep. Now, granted, Shanahan is one of the best in the business. But when it came to that Super Bowl game, when Dan Quinn heard that play come across that headset, his offensive mind should have kicked in and said, "Hey, time out! No. Let's talk about this." Even really with nothing to talk about. Run the ball. Yeah. I mean, he learned his lesson from that.
Even when Kyle Shanahan said, "Hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to the 49ers and I'm taking everybody," that was when Dan Quinn should have said, "Mike LaFleur or Mike McDaniels, I'm making you offensive coordinator / assistant head coach."
Yeah. Or better yet, Terry Fontenot should have stepped in and said, "Hey, no, let's sit back and talk about this. What do you want? What do you need? Let's talk about this." Now, I know he adamantly wanted to be a head coach, yes, but I would have brought that man to the table. And I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan. I would have brought him to the table and said, "Hey, talk to me. What do you want? What do you need?"
But the only way that was gonna happen is if we fired the Dan Quinn, and I didn't see that happening with us going to the Super Bowl. So you have to
no.
You had to get one of those assistant coaches an assistant head coaching title / offensive coordinator. Because think about it, Matt LaFleur left and went to Tennessee to be their OC. You don't think that we could have kept Matt LaFleur in Atlanta to be the OC?
Exactly.
But that go back to our debate today about the Falcons. I feel like
and that was
that's why Matt Ryan said, "I'm going after an experienced offensive-minded head coach, so our quarterback, whoever he is, don't got to go through the same thing that I went through damn near my entire career in Atlanta, which is a new OC every 2 years."
True.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because you can't think about that. Yes, it's been
that's why Matt Ryan's here now, you know,
and coaches.
Because there were things that were happening on the locker room with the coach. That Blank was like, "Hey, he didn't know what was going on." Yeah, because Greg Beatles. Now, granted, we had Greg Beatles, Rich McKay, Fontenot, but neither one of them were telling Arthur Blank what he needed to know. They were tickling his ears with good information, right? And Arthur Blank was rolling with that. But he didn't see his money getting put to work on the field. He didn't see the result being being put to work on the field. In actuality, it was getting worse. So he had to step in and bring in that consulting firm. And when you bring in a consulting firm, they're going to look after your money first. And if your production, what you paying for, is the reason why your money is not working, whatever head coach, staff, whatever, they got to go. It's going to be a complete overhaul turnaround.
Facts, and them doing
it's
that,
gonna be money well
another
spent.
check in to help look for our GM.
Yeah, exactly. And I hated to see Terry Fontenot go because he actually can build a team and work the money at the same time. But at the same time,
all of us deep down inside,
the things that weren't being told
Terry to stay. we all wanted Terry to stay, but we all know when it comes to business, if I want a clear vision, then that means that everybody got to go. If I want a new vision brought into the building.
Yeah, exactly. Now I got a question for you guys. With the culture that we have now, right? And everybody know we got that high energy vibing type culture here in Atlanta. With Stefanski coming in with his coaching staff, you know, Stefanski is not about that Atlanta's culture. Let's put it like that. Do y'all guys think that culture would change, or will Stefanski adapt to the way Atlanta is? And I'm going to do something right quick. I'm going to let y'all think about that one, but y'all talk about that one.
Well, I mean, it's going to be something where, it's going to be something where, I mean, look, you know, there's aspects of it, of course, Stefanski's going to have to adapt to. But I mean, as far, you know, just around like the city, but as far as the team goes, I mean, shoot, you know, all this rah-rah that Raheem put in place and, you know, the current things and how things are operating, all that shit needs to change. All of it. Every single ounce of it needs to change. I'm talking about the idea of doing a walkthrough Wednesday. I'll ask y'all something. I did not even know what a walkthrough Wednesday was, if that even existed before Raheem Morris came here 2 years ago. And we heard reports of them doing that every Wednesday when they were 6-3 and thought that they had the division locked up already. I mean, that is the stuff that needs to change. There wasn't any urgency with Raheem.
I'm gonna say this.
It was a whole lot of preaching and no acting.
That's what I mean. And I know you're gonna go Georgia, but I'm gonna say this. I said forget the culture at this point, because you know everybody is about we got to bring in somebody that fits the culture and everything else. I'm sick of the shenanigans. I'm sick of it. I need a no nonsense type. Let's get in here and really be a contenders, please. You know, it's cute. We got we got all the clothing. We got all this going on. We got the performance in the middle of halftime. The media is doing a wonderful job, but nobody is taking the Atlanta Falcons team seriously. Nobody's coming in here and say, "Oh, damn, we got the Atlanta Falcons. I'm scared of them." I wanted to come in and say, we need to be freaking breaking necks. We need to be that defense. Thank God they kept on brick. We need to be threatened. People threatened to come in Atlanta to play us. So if we got to get somebody that's not really for the culture, but coming in here, it's like, look, I'm going to come in here and make a winning team. I'm all for it. We can do all the dancing and all the cute stuff later. Let me find a product where we're getting more than 8 wins, 7 wins in a season.
Exactly. And I feel like
Brick and his staff, they were the only damn intimidating thing about this team this past season. And the entire defense. It's the only intimidating thing. And then having to face Bijan. Those were the only intimidating things about the Atlanta Falcons in 2025. Everything else, you could shut it all down.
But a couple of
things that were
I agree. Now, one thing, go ahead.
I think Georgia
things that were established this year that we can carry. And but a couple of things, I'll just say this real quick. We can carry in is that we got a pass rush. We got an aggressive identity on defense. We got a defense that can win. Our defense is set, and that should be the foundation of everything that we do moving forward.
Yeah.
What was the question again, Pandemic?
What you got?
I think he was
What was your question, Pandemic?
Oh no, I didn't have a question. I actually had I didn't have a question. I actually had a comment. The reason why Matt was here, we were going in and out. That's why I guess that's why didn't nobody hear me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think he was breaking up.
Yeah.
I think your original question was about the culture, Stefanski coming in
Okay.
here, and that's what the
Right.
original question was.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, I'm kind of 50-50 on Stefanski. Right. And I'm leaning more towards 60-40. But one thing I do as a person, as a human, I always look at a person's character, right? Outside of whether or not he can get the job done, I look at whether or not he's a fair person. And from everything that I've seen, everything I've heard, read, tells me that he is not. He's more about himself as opposed to the task at hand. And the way that people are more so defending him when it comes to, and it's not even about the Shador situation. It's about the whole ordeal up there in Cleveland. He was the single person that could have disposed of everything that was going on up there. And I mean everything. Whether it was up there in the front office, whether there was the Shador situation, whether it was the free agency acquisitions of people that they lost. He was the guy that could have ended all of that. Now, when you have people from reporters to content creators, and I listen to some of those guys from the Browns content creators standpoint, and when you have people that always wants to defend your character, there's a question mark there. When I was listening to these guys, nobody was talking about did he have the ability to change what was going on here in Atlanta. Everybody was defending his ego, defending his decision making. And to me, that's a question mark to me, because truth be told, yes, we are a better team athletic wise, but situation wise, we're in the same position as the Browns, if not worse. But at least the Browns they didn't have Kirk Cousins situation. They don't have players crashing out saying, hey, technically throwing their coaches under the bus. I put it like that. And they had a situation. Offensive coordinator. They got a defensive coordinator, all experienced. So we're trying to figure out now how is that going to transition to make us better. At least we had an excuse. We had an inexperienced defensive coordinator, inexperienced head coach, inexperienced offensive coordinator, and a very young team. So I'm trying to figure out how this. And I want a veteran staff to come in, but if they couldn't turn that Cleveland squad around, what makes us think that it's going to change here? And people like to throw out, well, he's been to 2 playoffs in 6 years. Whoop-de-doo. We've been 3-4 years, 1 game away from a playoff. That's not saying nothing. 2 playoffs. I mean,
and I think that's where the experience of having an experienced head coach coming in here, taking over a young team, because everything for us not getting to the next level has been on coaching. That's one thing can't nobody say. Can't nobody say in the since 2023 we ain't had the talent to win this division every year. But it always came down to coaching and capitalizing in the moment. And I feel like with the whole Raheem thing, I understand you won the last 4 games, but we were already gone. We had a winning record of 13 and I think 4 of when we're already eliminated from the playoff.
You know what's that? You know what that is called? I'm going to tell you what that is called. That is called winflation. That makes you appear at face better than you actually are. That is what that is called. Because listen, when you're eliminated from the playoffs a month before the season ends, you ain't a good team. I don't care. Man, that actually means you're a pretty bad team. That 4-game winning streak, that's called winflation. That's all it is.
And what made that even more embarrassing is
winning streaks.
Go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
that what I was about to say, that what made that so much more embarrassing is that Arthur Blank had to sit up there and watch us help a division rival get into the playoffs.
Oh
We
yeah.
literally, I mean, we made
Yep.
that. We
And I think
actually
that right
made
there
that.
was the nail in the coffin right there.
Man,
You
Yeah,
won
we
to send another
we
team to win
had
the division.
yeah,
we
yeah,
had the NFC South Championship game in our stadium, but we couldn't win it.
yeah, yeah.
We were winning it for someone else who also
Hmm.
hadn't make the playoffs before that in nearly a decade.
Yeah.
I think the last straw when he was in the camera, like he's doing something like, the hell you doing all this for? You wasn't this animated in the beginning of the season. Now you want to showboat and dance and look at that. Like, sit down.
And I'm thinking he did that because he was aiming. Was he aimed at us as fans or the
I'm gonna tell you what that is.
Probably both.
I'm gonna tell you what that is. And since Three Dirty's back up here, he can kind of support me. He did that after the Tampa game. So that was 4 days after we just got killed by Seattle. The Ray stuff had come out, and me and Three Dirty have joked about it. Man, he was screaming to the camera at the fans. It's like everyone who had been all upon him. It's like he had this sigh of relief. He thought he saved his job right there.
Yeah, he was talking to you, man. You, how dare you wear a bag on your head on a prime time game?
right.
Yeah, how dare you do that?
Yeah, I can't believe we actually made that a goal going into that game to help Carolina. I mean, everybody was talking about it to help Carolina get into the playoffs. Like, wow, that is crazy. I thought it was all about competition, getting your own team where they need to be at. If we played with that much intensity throughout the season, we would have been the one in the playoffs and not the one trying to help somebody, get to the playoffs. And I get it. You didn't want Tampa Bay. I get it. You want Tampa Bay. I get it. But you just don't know how embarrassing that is for your team, your city, your fans, for us to sit there and have to look other people, other teams, other fans in the face, go on their podcast and be like, what your
Because
team
at a
thinking
moment
about?
like that, that's when I wish it was the top 7 best records instead of sending a team with a losing record into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we ain't sent ourselves into the playoffs with a losing record.
Right. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I mean, and to be honest with you, I was more embarrassed about this season being one game away from the playoff than that 4-12 season we had with Dan Quinn.
Yeah, we had it in our hand.
Yeah, I mean, I was
2 years straight
I
under Raheem.
Yeah.
We had the division with a closed fist like Thanos with the Infinity Stones and lost it 2 years in a row. We lost the division off of poor coaching.
Right. Yeah. Sad. And you would think Raheem, with the tennis he's had, with the people he's been coaching under, you would think, I say tennis lineage, you would think that he would have learned at the very least game management, at the very least, and you would thought that, like, hey, I'm not experienced. I'm going to bring somebody I can lean on if I need some help.
But let me say this. Let me say this, because now it makes you look kind of at it like, okay, like how we got the head coach coming in and we got the offensive coordinator that's here. Who's calling the plays? Whose role is what? Everybody's on different teams. Everybody's roles are completely different than what we think it is. So it just kind of exposes really, truly what Raheem was doing out there, with his inexperience and things like that. So that's why I kind of questioned some of the decisions we did make as far as the head coach and offensive coordinator and etc. It's going to be to really make this thing shake. Everybody, it's got to be put out there, mapped out there. Who the hell is calling the plays? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? Like he said, there was no vision. They wasn't all on the same page. So for this to work for Atlanta Falcons right now, it truly needs to be, everybody's roles need to be what exactly it is and stick to it, and not have TJ over here playing all roles.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, can y'all
Exactly.
hear
Sound like
me?
that comment that Iron Mike has up here on the screen now.
Yes, sir. What's going on about whatever?
Yeah, we can.
Hey, what's up, man? My bad. I ain't mean
Yeah,
to
we can hear
interrupt,
you.
bro. I was just trying to make sure my shit was working right, bro, with no static or nothing. I go back on mute. I ain't mean to interrupt you though, bro. Go ahead and finish your point.
No, you good. Come on in.
Hey, look, I got a question, right? In all seriousness, like, and this coming from a person, man, I done been down kind of for putting hands on folks about my Falcons up here, man. I done even been in a hole in the can for nigga talking crazy about my Falcons up here, man. I live in Pittsburgh,
I
bro. Like,
understand.
it's hard being a Falcon fan of this motherfucker, bro. They used to championships. I ain't got shit to brag on, but on a serious note, right? All these folk keep talking about do it for the culture and the culture this and the culture that. My nigga, we ain't got no fucking culture. Our culture is fucking losing, nigga. It's a whole fucking 6-7 hour documentary on YouTube right here what we all on about how fucked up this fucking franchise is and been during the whole 67 years, right?
Matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. Have y'all seen that documentary? Have y'all seen that documentary?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
Dig this though, right? We ain't got no fucking culture. Our culture is fucking losing and flies fresh as fuck while we losing. Like anybody on here remember that scene on Toy Story where the dude Woody told Buzz, like, nigga, you can't fly. You ain't flying. You falling with style.
Right.
That's our fucking, bro. That's our culture. In a nutshell, that's our fucking culture. So these folks be hopping up here talking about do it for the culture. And man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
But what's funny though, the same ones who say do it with the culture were the same ones who's talking about let's fire Raheem.
Man, that wasn't for no fucking culture. That was for just pure competence. Man, look, no disrespect to nobody, but man, we could have put fucking a crackhead from the middle of any city up there. He could have did a damn better job just watching football. Like, the boy Raheem is trash, man. Like, and I said that before we brought him back in here. Same thing with that plant GM that we had, and the nigga hit on everything but the damn quarterback. Can't tell me that nigga won the plant. Raheem, man, that boy is incompetent.
Let me ask y'all this. So who would y'all prefer to be the new GM?
True that.
Out of the GM candidates that we got coming in, the GM candidates who we interview, who would y'all like to be the new GM?
Man, probably Cunningham. But
honestly, I want that guy from Pittsburgh who was the assistant GM for the Steelers. Mm-hmm. That's who I would want.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad option either.
And I only say that because
he's good too. He's good.
And I've been watching what he's doing low key. Like, just like I told folks ahead of time, Tomlin was gonna get shoved out the back door. And they pushed his ass out the back door. He fell on his feet on the way down.
Yeah.
And
I like Ian Cunningham.
Yeah, that's who I would like.
Yeah, that's who it sounds like it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I wonder why it's taking,
I mean,
you to go ahead and announce it.
Come on, man.
that's
Yeah.
what's baffling me right now. That's what's baffling me right now. Why is it taking so long? The obvious choice, Ian Cunningham.
The obvious choice would be Ian Cunningham, but when you put the resumes together, Andy Whittle from Pittsburgh resume is almost the same as Cunningham, because like from 99 to 07, he worked with Pittsburgh before going to the Ravens.
Listen, I'm only saying this because I live here, yo. Like, I got the inside scoop. Like, I've been scouting their ass for years. Like, dude, he's really like that, yo.
Now, do y'all think we hire two of these candidates, like one to be the GM and one to be like the vice president or the assistant GM?
No, because I think
why not? Perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world. I think they honestly try. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. The only thing against that, though, is like that would at that point feel like, I mean, I do think there's a concept of too many hands in the kitchen. And like you already got Matt Ryan, and I get Matt Ryan isn't going to be carrying out GM duties, but he's still like the top guy. He's the supervisor. So then you have the GM, and then you got this other guy right on. That kind of gives me the feeling of too many hands in the kitchen.
Yeah.
To the point where you want to put together a solid front office with guys that have experience, but you also don't want too many hands in the kitchen of someone, essentially trying to do one job.
Yeah.
Because that can lead to even more dysfunction.
Yeah, with that being said, I think that's why Matt Ryan was brought in too, because Greg Beatles is in year 31. He's on year 32 coming up. And either one or two things is happening. Either they're going to take one of those positions away from him and give it to Matt Ryan once he gets off this learning curve, or Matt Ryan is going to take over Greg Beatles' spot. Because I mean, 31 years is a long time to be in a position, right? So
true.
Maybe they thinking Greg might need to get gone too. Maybe, but Matt is here for a reason, right? He's here to make sure that what happened in that draft room, that war room, he's here to make sure that don't happen again.
Well, all right. Let me explain this.
Remember Denzel Washington in Training Day? Was it Training Day? No. In one where he played Frankie. Dang gone. What's the name of that movie?
I know. Yeah, American Gangster. Mm-hmm.
American Gangster, where he jumps off and says, "Hey, from now on, don't nobody talk to me. You got business with me. You talk to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, you talk to me. Never over the phone. That's it." And that's what Arthur Blank just did. He pulled a gangster move, and nobody is going to make a decision from here going forward without Matt Ryan knowing about it. Especially a situation like the draft, especially a situation like free agency. Anything and everything that a general move that they make is going to go through Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is going to run it by Arthur Blank. Now, Matt Ryan probably won't make a decision on either one of the cases, but he would have an input, I presume. I'm hoping Matt Ryan become that guy where he just can't step away from the game, and that help that he said he's going to bring for Michael Penix, he is that help. He's going to be on the field, during the OTA, during practices. He's going to be on there helping Michael Penix with his mechanics. Because I watched 4 hours of video footage that I watched under a coach's eye, as opposed to just watching it as a fan. And I saw some things from Michael Penix that explain why he stayed in the pistol all season. Even from Indiana, he didn't play a lot under center. So that would explain why he didn't play a whole lot on the center here. They wanted to keep him in the pistol because he was somewhat successful as in the pistol in his college days. So I'm thinking like
comfortable under center.
Okay, they want him to go on the center. He's got two bad wheels on him. I'm not gonna say bad wheel. I'm gonna take that off of him. He's injured right now, right? So if they're gonna force him to get under center. Doing too.
But I feel like that's another thing that go on Raheem, because how long did he have this partial tear, and y'all kept putting him out there?
Yeah.
I
You
think
kept
they
going.
knew it and didn't want to admit to it, and because kind of like how Mooney situation, that collarbone. I think a lot of these players had these injuries, and they was like, okay, we go, come on, because we doing too bad right now. Y'all got to play. Her cousin is injured, and her come on in here, Penix.
Yeah,
I know you ain't ready, but
like
you
Mooney,
come in here
like
and maybe not get under center, and we'll figure it out around you. Your injury. That's what I just felt happened.
like Mooney.
They
That was the
slid a
same
lot of
thing
these
with
things
Kirk
under the
Cousins.
table. Yeah,
Mooney. That was the same thing with Kirk Cousins. You knew he was injured. You should have put him on IR.
a lot of this shit was happening. They were like, okay, we'll just put it under the table. But see, man, you can't do that with injuries.
Right. You can't slap of some icy hot on it or dope them up or something. Like, okay, go out there.
Right.
It's like,
listen.
and then it's like,
I honestly think that Michael Penix actually aggravated his injury in camp. But if y'all remember, there was one time he pulled up lame. He didn't like he twisted his ankle or something, but he pulled up and they sat him out for the rest of the practice with the ice bag on both of his legs. Now I'm thinking like that may have been an aggravated injury and they kept that under wraps. That man was actually seriously hurt, and it came to the point where they had to play. They really didn't have to play him because you had another guy back here, Emery Stick, that you could have stuck in there if you were that concerned about your future quarterback.
right.
But
And then they go back
they
to
knew
our
this guy
training
was hurt,
staff.
and that's why they kept on in the pistol. Yeah. So and that's
And
another
then they
reason
go
why
back to our training staff.
Matt Ryan
like,
is here. Stuff like that won't go unnoticed.
Yo,
how come players are not coming back from injury reserve? Like, for some reason, they go on IR. We don't never see this player again.
Man, hey, y'all watching this game right now? Y'all watching this game?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Man, JSN, he is a there's something else.
What my boy Dre May look like?
They going back to the Super Bowl.
Who, the Patriots?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man,
I think Sean Payton should have kicked that field goal in the first half.
Yeah,
At least to tie the game up.
Yeah, the Patriots are
you
in.
know what's so crazy? I knew Drake May was gonna be the truth coming out of college, cause I watched him and his brother play on that UNC basketball team, and they both was nice.
Yeah, but he was gone before we got to him anyway, though.
Man, I would have loved to have Drake May here.
We wouldn't have picked him.
Man,
Nah,
it's
they would have done
it's just the system. If Michael Penix would have had an experienced coordinator or experienced offensive head coach, it would have been different. But since Raheem wanted to roll out there with the inexperienced play caller and Zach Robinson, that's what hindered Michael Penix. Because look at all these other quarterbacks. Once Caleb Williams got Ben Johnson, it was over. He turned up. Once Drake May got Josh McDaniels, he turned up. CJ, that's the problem in Houston. Once they fired Bobby Slowick, they ain't never been the same. They just got a good young defense.
Man, it would have been nice to have Zach Robinson got a hold of this offense, because the defense did their part. I mean, it's been a while since we had a defense like this, and if Zach Robinson had did what he's supposed to do with this offense, because he really was the Achilles heel to this offense, really, with his play calling. Because we got some players on this offense that could, that can win football games. That's no doubt. But Zach Robinson just, I don't know. And then sometimes you got to hold the players accountable too, right? But for the most part, for the most part, you got to look at his play calling, right? Because his play, I mean, granted, Kyle Pitts, you can say he did his thing, but where was this the year before? Right? But
Man,
I'm looking
fuck
at
that. Where was this all the years before? He only had one.
well, you got to take away his injury years.
You got to take away the
Yeah,
injury
you got to
year.
take away his injury
About when he was up on the bat. Too.
Yes,
And when it comes to that, I only feel like he got the production because Drake London was out 4 games.
Yeah, that's what I was leading to. That's why I'm not afraid to move on from him. I mean, people say he's a game changer. He because of the mismatch. Man, I'm telling you, we already got that on the squad without Kyle Pitts. We got that. We got performers on as a tight end. We got that already. We just didn't use it. Now, Stefanski and Reese, they could use Charlie Warner. I can almost guarantee you Charlie Warner will become more of a force on this offense now. You will see a difference.
Listen, trade Kyle Pitts ass on draft night.
Yeah.
And use
There's no way I'm paying that guy $15 million.
Listen, and use that pick to get back into the first round and go get your guy. I would leverage the shit out of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
He's not worth it, yo. I'm a Florida Gators fan.
Now
I know these things.
Yeah. So they're gonna try to show me they want them. I'm not gonna just give them up.
No, that's why I'm using him to get back into the first round.
Use him as a franchise tag and then trade him?
No, I'm trading
because he's a free agent.
Yeah.
On
trade Kyle Pitts.
You got to franchise tag him if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's right now, he ain't on the roster.
Look, I tag his ass and trade him on draft night. Send him in the third round.
Because y'all got to remember,
get back into the
in
first.
this offense, we got to have 2 tight ends.
All right, let me ask you a question. If we're going to do that and we move him back into the first round, who are we getting with that pick?
I don't give a fuck. Get a tight end, a receiver, because we don't got a first round pick this year, too.
No, I ain't drafting no tight. Because
we already got Joshua Simon. We already got Joshua Simon on practice squad.
Who we've already re-signed.
Right. So
last year would have been the best time to make this move, trade Pitts to get back into the first round. Because
speaking of Joshua Simon, I just saw a highlight reel of him. Yeah, he could be the real deal.
But right now, we going into a tight end friendly offense that like using 2 tight ends. So why not franchise Pitts for $13 million?
He'll be on this roster.
Yeah.
Like at
but
first,
trust me when
I'm not gonna lie.
What I say.
At first, I was like, okay, let Pitts walk. But once Kevin Stefanski came in, it's like, all right. Could we franchise tag him to see how he work in his offense? And even he came out and said he'll be welcome to coming back.
The thing about Mike Pitts, I am not paying that guy nowhere near $15 million.
Nowhere near.
That's what the franchise tag is.
If we franchise tag him, it's $15 million. And if we keep him without franchise tagging him, he can ask for up to 20. Now,
man,
he ain't worth 20.
What's his name?
I'm giving him between 11 and 13.
Yeah. Travis Kelce don't make $20 million, guys.
No,
I'm not even doing it. I'm not doing it. I mean, if his game didn't improve that much in his contract season, didn't improve that much for me to say, okay, he deserves another shot. I'm looking at the year prior to his contract season.
Shit.
That's what I'm looking at. Because you got guys who do it all the time. They come in contract year and they ball out. They put up all these historical numbers. But then once they get their money in their hand, contract signed, they disappear to the next following season.
Welcome to the
Bro, we
show,
the Atlanta
Blackberry.
Falcons. Niggas been doing
Home
us
team,
like
home
this
team.
for the
Home team.
fucking.
What's happening?
What
What
up,
up,
Black?
baby?
We just
What's
chopping it
happening, big
up.
bro? Hey, we outside.
Yeah, we
One more
done
time,
jumped off
y'all.
the stoop, my boy.
Yes, sir. We out here in these YouTube streets, my boy.
Appreciate you having me
Two
on,
kid
man. What's
afraid
going
Hey,
to
on,
man.
family?
Hey,
What's going on,
hey,
chat?
hey. Listen, I just want to say to all y'all, man, like, I just want to say thank y'all for just showing me the way, being good people on all y'all platforms. And I appreciate all y'all for showing the love.
All love, man. You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't know you been. Damn, y'all been on almost 3 hours.
Hey man,
Hey,
we've been rolling. Burnt my battery up.
talking that good.
Yep.
But yeah, so Blackberry, the question on the platform for today is, what do you think about the new direction of these Atlanta Falcons?
Mm.
Blackberry. I'm back, y'all. What's up, Blackberry?
What's up, Maggie? What going on, home girl?
Nan much.
Um, you know, I don't like it, and I think that's pretty evident. I don't like it because it looked too familiar to a once proven already losing effort. So I don't like it. But you know, it's not up to, it's not up to me. It ain't up to nobody else, besides the front office of this team. I just released a video reacting to the Patriots going back to the Super Bowl. So y'all might want to check that out, but I don't like it. I just it's we done had this conversation on my channel for a little while now about the process of franchises over history doing things a certain way, and when others go against the grain, it's worked for one or two teams, but it ain't worked for nobody else. And it looked like we trying to go against that same grain, because it's what's trending in the league, with the GM no longer having this responsibility of the personnel. They just, what the head coach want, GM go get, and you got somebody else making decisions on coaching hires and in the direction that the team going in. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it because there's no evidence of it having sustainable, consistent, positive results. And that's all I'm about. I'm about consistency. I'm about positive, consistent results. Just because it doesn't work for the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid don't mean it's going to work for everybody else.
They could afford to do that.
And my thing is with the Andy Reid situation, Andy Reid fell in their lap. He
True.
really did. Because you got the Philadelphia Eagles just got to a point where they just wanted to try something different with Andy Reid. It ain't because he was doing anything wrong in Philadelphia. Hell, he was going to the NFC Championship game damn near every season.
Nah, hey, Blackberry, let me put some strain on that, bro. I was upstate, right outside of Philly in Chester, PA during that, bro. They would call into the fucking radio station. They practically ran him out of Philly, bro. Literally, for the bum ass nigga Chip Kelly that ran that gimmicky ass Fugazi offense in Oregon. That's 2012. I was in the penitentiary upstate. Right, like 2 minutes from Philly, bro. Like they used to dog him. But he did fall in their lap.
He did. He fell in their lap. And we know Philadelphia fans, we know they'll drive anybody out of town. They Philadelphia fans. They some of the worst fans ever.
And that's how the Falcons need to be. Our fans, we don't got Raheem up out of here. Keep it going.
Man, I throw the fucking party that night. You hear me? I throw the fucking party that night. I was giving shit away
Man,
to everybody.
man, we were all partying that night. Shit.
Hey, I'm telling
Free
you,
shit for
that was
everybody.
that was a late Christmas present right there. I
Hey,
thought at least
hey,
Raheem Morris was gonna
oh,
get the 11:59 treatment, like Arthur
man.
Smith.
Hey, OG knows how much I was celebrating that night.
Bro, that's the best gift I ever received in my life. You hear me?
I think we were all waiting on that one.
I think y'all were too happy.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I was geeked the fuck up.
Just a little bit.
Him and that plant Terry Fontenot.
I mean, I know I went live as soon as the news broke. I said, what I'm doing, I'm going live.
I was geeked up. Get both of them bum ass motherfuckers out of here.
Yo, me and Will were live when it happened. And
I know. I was on there. Me, Texas boy, 3:30, couple left.
I didn't think they were going. I ain't think he was going to do it, but you know, it just go to show he do. Arthur Blank legitimately wants to get it right. He legitimately wants to win. He wants to get it right. I think what the problem is it's like when you know you need to do something differently so bad, you'll do everything around that differently, but you just can't seem to put down that one thing.
Yeah, I think he could.
Rich McKay.
That's why he got rid of Rich McKay ass.
Yeah,
he didn't get rid of him.
The fans.
Rich
I think he didn't know how to go about it.
If you was somebody that's really persuading Arthur Blank, it should have been, hey man, I don't know. Let's go. You might need to kind of reevaluate what's going on. They not winning. But no, he was worried about his pocketbook.
Yeah. I think he wanted to do something.
My shit said Rich McKay fired.
Yeah. I think he wanted to do something. He just didn't know how to go about it. And that's why he brought that consulting firm in. Because once he brought that consulting firm in, you started seeing wheels turning after that. Moves being made. You started hearing rumors. So, he just didn't know how to go about doing it.
Man, I don't give a fuck. You show me that you finally serious about winning, dog, I can get behind that. But I'm telling you this, man. I want to see results. And I ain't talking about no fucking 3, 4, 5 years long to get them. It shouldn't take that long, bro. Like, this shit, you on some Tomlin shit. You walked into a ready-made team, bro. Like, this shit better not take long.
Yeah, that's the thing. What that happens when you change the general manager and the head coach, and you start making moves that drastic. You start seeing 3-4 years of mediocrity and winning and losing. But we already got pieces in place that we can come in, like you said, a ready-made team that's ready to win. If we just have to win that 1 or 2 more games to get where we need to be into the playoffs. Let's not make that a goal, but at the same time, that can be a step in the right direction.
We say this a made team, right? You coming into a team that's built already, ready to win, but coaching is a major part of winning.
Yes,
it's a major part of winning. It ain't just about having the right personnel. Yeah, you got these dynamic players, you got these big personalities, you got these guys that know how to show up in clutch moments.
Right.
But we got that on the field, but look at how our season turned out the past couple seasons. So
Zach Robinson.
So it's coaching is a bit. I don't think I'm kind of like drawing back a little bit because I was saying that too. This is a team that's ready to win now. We just need a coach in here that ain't gonna screw it up. But it plays a big part. Look at this Patriots team right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no big flashy name on the Patriots at all.
Right.
Not at all. I don't think anybody on this offense is top 10 anything in any statistical category.
Mm-hmm.
And yet here they are in the playoffs.
That's why you. That's why you keep building. Like a lot of these teams that are now, or it's some teams that took years to become, and they still wasn't big names, big, top 10 this, but it was a team that was hungry enough to say, okay, we don't need all these flashy guys. We need guys that fucking work.
Yeah. Ready to put in work. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
But Vrabel didn't do too.
Hey, look.
Every game.
Vrabel didn't do that well in Tennessee. And we didn't hear that much bad publicity on him when he went to New England.
Right.
So, just like what we're hearing, that crowd coming to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Patriots, that's their, just like Mega T said earlier about the culture. See, people don't understand the culture, man. I mean, first of all, you got to be together. Everybody got to be together in order to have a culture. You're not going to have a culture if you're divided.
Right.
So by New England having that pedigree and that winning mindset, which, they only been out of the loop for a few years after Brady and Belichick left. Now they back with a guy that was down in Tennessee and they was not doing anything.
But it was just like we stated earlier. They brought in Mike Vrabel to have the Patriot way without Bill Belichick. And then they got that young quarterback. So they say Mike Vrabel was like, you know what? Let me go get what I know work. Hey, Josh, you want to come back and be the OC? And Josh was like, yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah. But listen, hold on. Wasn't Vrabel an offensive lineman?
No.
Mike Vrabel was a linebacker.
No.
I thought he was an old lineman. My bad.
That's why he went and got that monster to call them plays.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, he didn't have that when he went and got that offensive coordinator. He didn't have his ego in it or his pride. He went and got what was going to be best for the overall, for the team, for that culture that they got up there. Because they ain't going to play with him up there in New England now.
Right.
It's about who can be smart the most, who can be smart the most in the league.
Well, at least we got a candidate now. We got rid of Raheem.
Yeah. I just think Raheem didn't have a clue.
Man,
he didn't have a clue.
Man.
So
y'all. I mean, I don't know what you mean by at least we got a candidate. Now I don't know what you mean by that.
Man, at least we got a nigga who name we could throw in the hat.
Now, me, I'm not gonna say candidate, but it's like this. We gotta see what happens. That's me. I'm ready to see what happens. I'm not sold, but I'm willing to see what happens.
Same here. I like the vision, but it's like for the last two coaching hires, we all been in that. Okay, let's go. We're gonna get behind it. We going to the playoffs. We finish this. Now it's like, all right, we just gotta.
Yeah.
I'm in a wait and see. Let's see the process, but I like the direction that we're heading thus far.
I mean, he got to show. He got to show us, man. He got to show. Yeah. He got to show this city that all of this drama.
What have you done for me lately?
Around him, he got to. He regardless of what anybody that wants to say about the criticism that he gets and how we don't need to be. We don't know what we talking about with the criticism he get. Regardless of that. This dude got to show us. Look at all this drama around him. Look at all of it. Whether he brought it on himself or not, it's around him, and we got to deal with it now as a franchise.
He got to do like Albert did when his son screwed up. Albert kept his head down, and he sold us. He sold it. He sold himself to us by showing us what he can do.
Oh yeah, and he apologized. He apologized and like he said, turned around and showed us like
he showed us.
That's what he got to
Hey,
do.
Julio.
He got to show us that it's not going to affect. It's not going to affect positive outcomes with this team. He can still, he can get these players behind him, and he can win football games. When he can show us he can do that, then I'll say he a good candidate. But I can't say that yet.
So
he just said a mouthful right there now, because a lot of teams would have went the other way. You know, when their son pulled a stunt like that against who? Shadu.
So going into my next question, what are y'all expecting to hear in this press conference on Tuesday?
That we got our GM.
Yeah, that's basically
okay. That one came out of left field right there, but it makes sense.
Yeah, basically. You know what? And here's the thing too, right? We know the drama's gonna come. It's already coming, but it's just on paper. It just looked like the good buddy system all over again, because all of these guys have a connection outside of Ian Cunningham if he's the general manager. But all these guys, all the other coaches, the head coach, they all have a connection coming back all the way down to Matt Ryan. Not Matt Ryan. All the way down to Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins. It just looked like the buddy system all over again. It's just like Kirk Cousins said, "Hey, I want y'all to go get Stefanski." Like he had first hand on it. But it looked like the buddy system all over again, because all these guys have a connection in the past. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm 50-50, leaning more towards 60-40 with this coaching hire. I'm already leaning towards 70-30, and it's not a good 70-30 because it's the drama that Stefanski has surrounded around him, like Black said.
And that's where I'm at with it as well. It's like it still kind of looks like, who knows who with these hires.
Yeah.
But like you said, we just got to see it.
Yeah. I mean, but you are at the same time, you do want the connection because of chemistry, because you do want the coaching aspect to be on the same page with the game plan. But none of these coaches are coming from winning programs. They haven't showed that they can consistently win. We already know what the lack of consistency bring here already. So you're bringing in even more coaches who can't consistently win or haven't consistently won anything. Same thing with Raheem. He was the same thing. So we're bringing in a guy who we are presuming that can get us to the playoff because he's won 2 playoff games in 6 years. That's not a good look on a resume. Not in my book. I would rather have had a guy that I'm not gonna say I was sold on Jim Harbaugh. I'm not gonna say I would. The guy I wanted is in I wanted Saleh. That's what I wanted, Robert Saleh. But Stefanski,
I'm thinking not to cut you off, maybe because of course look at the candidates they was looking at. It might have not been who had a proven record. It was more of who has experience as a head coach versus an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator coming in here, never coaching before.
Right. I get that.
Which still is not convincing to me either.
Right.
Just because you coached a team, I can say I coached my kids. But goddamn it, somebody went to go to jail at the end of it. Just saying. Like, no, just look at it. Like, I have a sibling that's locked up right now, unfortunately. Raised by the same folks, and then let's say she come out here and say, hey, I want to be this. Like, no, your record ain't, just because you was under some good candidates of parents, you came out different.
Yeah. I mean, that's logic, though. That's logic. My thing is, like, you asked the question of what we expect to hear in the press conference. I can point out when somebody's trying to tickle my ears, right? I don't want to hear the right, you know what I mean? Because everybody knows what the right thing they're going to say. We're going to come in here and go to work and pull and win some football games. We already know that. That's your agenda. That's what every team sets out to be. But and I know too, they're not going to specifically put out their game plan on Front Street like that too. But at the same time, I don't want to hear the same cliche thing like what Raheem did. You know what I mean? Like Dan Quinn came in different. Dan Quinn playing on told you, hey, we're gonna win some football games. I mean, it didn't quite work out the way he thought, but he did. That's what he said. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl. He said that. With this team, I've never heard nobody say we're gonna go win some football games. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Everybody else had the same agenda. We're gonna see. We're gonna go to work. When I outrun the South, we are considered to be the weakest division in football. So you outrunning the South is not much of a goal. I'd rather you say, hey, we're going to take over the conference. That's a goal coming out of the South.
I want them to be contender. I'm like, I mean, yes, going to the Super Bowl, making it to the playoffs and everything else. It's like I want to make a team where people are afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
when they see the schedule, they get.
But it's like, well, that damn Atlanta team, shit.
Yeah, exactly. When they pull that schedule up, they can't just put an L next to Atlanta. They got to be like, oh, here comes Atlanta. Damn, we got to play Atlanta.
So that's what I want. Toughness. That's what I want to hear. I want to make this team unbeatable and unpredictable.
Right.
You know, as crazy as it sounds, we actually might have already gained some tread with that. We might have gained a little bit of leverage with what you're saying, because we got a reputation of being able to beat anybody and lose to anybody.
Exactly.
So with what we have currently, outside of, because we don't know what the coaching is going to be yet, but as far as what these players are capable of, they circling Drake London, like cornerbacks are circling Drake London when it's time to go up. Oh, I got Drake London on my schedule this year.
Oh yeah, Bijan, and they got Bijan. Got prepare for you, right?
I got Chris. I got to go. I got to try to beat Chris Lindstrom off the line.
Yeah, right.
Quarterbacks, they circling Xavier Watts and Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
You know, James Pierce Jr. he out there. People know about James Pierce Jr. now. They know about Brandon Douglas now. Like, we've gained some traction with that part of the game, with teams knowing that they ain't you're not just finna play Atlanta and you just finna think you finna have a cakewalk. You know,
but we can out coach them.
It might be some fans of football out there that do content creating that might, when they do these reaction videos, oh, this the Falcons, this ought to be a win for the Ravens, this ought to be like, they might still be doing that because they don't know no damn better. But these players that got to go, that have to match up with this personnel, they understand the assignment. So I think we getting closer to that now. Like 3 Duddy just said, can we out coach them? Is the thing now, which is what Vrabel did to Sean Payton today.
Right. Why you
didn't just commit to running the damn ball? You know what kind of weather you got going on.
Right.
And you waited till the snow started coming down before you wanted to try to kick some field goals.
Right. I bet you they wish they would have tried that field goal now.
And that's where it comes down to a coach that, uses time management better. And things like that's really what it came down to. We got the players to execute if coached right, but it's also game time decisions and stuff like that makes a huge difference in what happens in this particular play.
Right. True that.
Where are y'all? We finna get ready to wrap it up. Everybody want to say their final words before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, bro.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, congrats on starting your show, man. It's fun to be here. Appreciate you having me on. Hopefully we get to work together. We will work together some more. I ain't gonna say hopefully. We're gonna work together some more in the future. And because we got a lot right around the corner, we got to start talking about the draft, free agency, and all this type of stuff too. So it's gonna be a lot of fun trying to see where everybody's mindset is with this new coaching staff we got coming in, because we actually don't know what kind of a guy that this is, Stefanski. Where his mindset is, what type of players that he likes to draft, and the new GM and all that type of stuff. But we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. So you guys in the chat, y'all make sure y'all stay close. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. All of us up here put out good content, great content. So, and we got the greatest fan base in the world. So we're gonna have great input for you guys, everybody to follow. But like I said, I appreciate you having me on, man. Y'all can follow me at Atlanta Falcons Fandemic on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and I still haven't did the Spotify thing yet. I appreciate the help though, Miss Maggie. I know you sent me a link.
Get with me when you get some time.
No, you sent me the link already. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, it's coming though. It's coming for sure. But yeah, y'all hit that like button, let's subscribe, and let's get this fan base thing going.
I guess I'll jump in since nobody's saying anything. Same thing here, Georgia, Texas boy. Congratulations on the start of your new channel. And lately, I've just been like I always do. I always just I love to see more content creators coming out and being inspired by, what you're watching. The contribution you've given to all these channels throughout the platforms. I feel that the bigger we are as a fan base, the more content that we can put out there outside of ESPN and all these people that hate on us, whereas the voice, like I call the Atlanta Falcons Nation, the voice of the fans, we are the team. We sit back and put our hard-earned money into watching this team, even if you can't even make it to a game. You paying for those sports packages, and you're across the world watching this team, and you're buying these jerseys, and you're dedicating your time to it. I feel like the fan base is that fan base. It's this what it pretty much got off the blank to shake at the end of the day, because he's like, I can't disappoint them. So the more that people are encouraged to get out there and speak about this team, I love it, because I don't even put on ESPN anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I do not watch none of those channels anymore. I go in and I see somebody live, and I was like, oh shoot, Georgia Texas boy live. Boom. Let me jump in here and see what he got to say. So anytime I can jump on and have some time to show some feedback to anybody and jump on when I can, because I'm a busy person running a channel of multiple shows. I can't watch and be there every time, but when I can, I'm going to show love to everybody.
There you go.
But you can find me at Maggie T Productions all over social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. Apparently people follow me on YouTube, whatever reason. And I'm really not doing nothing with this channel, but maybe something. But of course, continue to support Atlanta Falcons Nation LLC, definitely. And of course, all of you guys are welcome to join on the show at any time with the Lady Birds or what have you. Because I just got your email, Georgia Texas boy, so I can hit you up with a link sometime if you just want to jump on with us as well. Just to kind of make sure you grow as well. Like, show the love, spread the love. Everybody my motto is, we are better together than we are apart.
Here we go. Strength in numbers.
Man, I really just want to thank all y'all for being on the show. I want to thank all y'all for the support. I want to thank all y'all for the inspiration for me to even get out here and start my own channel. It's a long list of y'all, and when I tell y'all, all y'all played a part, all y'all played a part. And I appreciate everything. I appreciate everybody who came and watched the show today.
Appreciate you dropping that link, man.
Yes, sir. Anytime I'm live,
Definitely appreciate you dropping that link, bro.
Yes, sir. But I'm like Maggie T on that thing. Maggie T, I was like her. You know, I had got away from the ESPNs and all of those sports things, and I was so happy when I saw these content creators. Some kind of way they made it to my my YouTube subscription, and I started checking them out, man. And my list grew a lot. So I really appreciate you guys to put in the work. I don't have a platform. I probably would be a sorry. I ain't gonna say sorry. I probably would be a bad content creator because I see the work that got to go in it, along with the research, the dedication, and all of that too. So, hey man, shout out to all of the content creators for the Falcons. It's a good thing. Overall, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing, man, and you know, it's about being brave, you know.
Yeah.
It's brave to get out here and give your opinions to the public with knowing that the backlash you could get.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a certain kind of heart, you know. You got to have a certain kind of spirit to do it.
Yeah.
And
I want to say something. I'm gonna let you finish in a minute, but I don't know if anybody followed my page on Facebook. As a woman doing this thing, I still get into people that saying you a woman don't know what you're talking about.
Oh
wow.
And I had to make a little post about it because it kind of got under my skin a little bit. Of course, he was illiterate, but that's not the point. Because it's in the structure but anyway. But the point is, he was like, you're on the bandwagon. You just start following the team, and you know nothing because you're a woman. That's why I do it.
That's also means that he wasn't watching your content to even say that, though.
Oh, he wasn't. Right. He was in my inbox though, trying to holler.
That's all that was. That's all that was. Right. He could have, because he didn't have no receipts on you not knowing what you're doing.
Well, since you know so much, then let me take out. You can tell me all about what you know.
Right. Let me teach you how to.
That's what he wanted.
Right.
That's what it is, though. It takes bravery. It take a brave person to get out here and do that, man. And women, and for women that do that, that's exactly you leaving a lot of room for criticism and ridicule. So it's about bravery. So shout out to my boy Gats boy. I got them Gats boy.
I think Blackberry your number one fan though, because they've been trying to get you out there for at least a year with that photographic memory.
Yo, man, you see one thing one time, you gonna remember it forever, man. I know.
Man, let me tell y'all, man. Postman telling me this. I say since about 2015, man, to just get out there and I always got an excuse for everything, for every reason to not do it. And I'm like, man, you know what? At this point, my kids getting older. I got time. I'm situated in my career to where I can take time to just give my opinion on my favorite team.
There you go.
There you go.
Why not? Mm-hmm. And I just jumped out there, and I tell people, man, it's like I don't be planning stuff sometimes, man. A lot of times, bro, I just let go and let God and see what happened, man. And he just knows.
And my advice to you as well, though, and I always kind of tell everybody, look, don't worry about the numbers and who not paying attention. What you want is authentic, genuine people that really follow you. And so it's going to grow. The numbers will come. That's the only thing, because that can discourage a lot of people. A lot of these content creators get out here and expecting they're going to be 1,000 views in one day.
Yeah.
You got to just humble yourself first, bring out good content, and people will follow. Because this fan base, we got a community. Like people, believe it or not, we have a YouTube community. We just all get together and follow each other. And that's just, there was divide, but it's like, we're trying to push that narrative out of there that we can't get along and get along. That's the only way this shit works.
Yeah. And quiet as kept though, it'll be more than just Falcon fans that follow you. Because like now, like when I got started, I was surprised at how many Falcon fans will follow me because I talk Falcon football all the time. I don't care who will listen. But once I got started doing content creation, man, I'm talking about people from the Bears community, from the Panthers, from Tampa Bay, I think I got somebody from like just about every team, of somebody from from their fan base, and it just takes one or two videos that's gonna maybe get your name out there, depending on what your content will be about, and your numbers will skyrocket. Because like when I got started, it was like 150 for a while, right? And then I did this one video with the during the draft process when we turned down that pick from the Bears. That video got like 10,000 views, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
And I got like so much feedback from that thing. I'm like, I still haven't answered all the questions from that video. And I'm like, when that video went, I'm like, wow, and I got all kind of energy from that video. So once that video took off like that, I was like, man, what did I do from that video that got me like this? I took that video, did the research off that thing, and I just kept putting it out. Now I'm trying to reach that 1,000 subscribers now. So it's a hint, chat. Y'all need to go and subscribe to that channel. But yeah, it's fun once you get hooked into it. Well, once you get hooked into it, you can't stop.
Yeah, because I done got to where now if I got a tolerance for hearing stupid shit. So
yeah.
I got a low tolerance for hearing stupid shit. So when I hit, so now I done got to where, okay, well, I got this platform. Let me get on here and let folks know that was some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And like you was just saying, for me, it's quality over quantity too, guys.
Yeah.
It's quality over quantity. When you're not thinking about the views and you're not thinking about the subscribers. Now, of course, the goal is to get the views and to get the subscribers. That's the goal. Right. But when you're not thinking about it because you find yourself a groove to get in and you stay with that groove and you just continue to be authentic, continue to be yourself, and do what you want to do and not necessarily what you think other people want to see and hear. Just do what comes natural to you, and it's going to, like Maggie said, it's going to gravitate the people to you that want to that want that content. They're going to come naturally. You just got to keep putting it out there, be consistent, and don't care about what somebody else saying about it. You just do you. And you're going to be all good, my boy. I'm happy for you. We off the stoop now. So
we all here for you, man. We all here.
I'm not letting you go back inside either. You out here now. You can't go back in now. You out here.
Keep them on the porch. Keep them on the porch.
We outside.
We outside now.
Yeah.
We outside.
One thing for sure.
Streets.
Yeah. One thing for sure too. You gonna get those comments where people saying, "Man, you don't know what the hell you talking about. That was stupid." You gonna get that. Like me, I like to comment anyway. I don't go back and forth with them. I just like to comment, and I actually send them a question back to them. You know what I mean? And see, you get people out there that would draw you into that too. That's what they want. They want you to get out there crashing out, so it's not a good look on you and your channel. But you don't feed into it. You know what I mean? Spin it to where it's a positive thing, and be like, somebody saying, "Hey man, that don't sound different." You send that question back to them. Well, what do you think? You know what I mean? Like, it's all about the direction you want your channel and how you want it to look across the YouTube channel, and not. I mean, sometimes you will get to that debate where you have to defend what you say, right? But you can do it in a way too where you look professional or look becoming of your channel, right? And not people they're thinking about like you just crash out, trying to get your point across, right? So you can be that fan, but like I said, you're gonna get that negativity. I still get it. You know what I mean? People know I've been in this for a minute, so I still get it. So just keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah, I did that the other day. Somebody replied to, responding to a reply, and I asked the dude a question, and he said, "You just yapping."
Yeah.
Like, nigga, this my video, nigga.
Right.
That's the whole damn point for me to yap.
That's the whole point. We all give our own opinion.
So I told him say less, but I didn't respond like that. I just said say less.
Yeah,
and we done. it's going to be people that don't understand the assignment. They just want to see. They want to try to get a reaction out of you.
Right.
So,
but it's actually a positive thing too that they do respond. So the more time they respond negative, the better they look on your channel and analytics. So let them keep on.
I tell them thank you for the comment. That's what I tell them.
That part. Yep. Thank you for the comment. Yep. But I'm gonna pull out, man. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, enjoy y'all evening. I'm about to go downstairs and do my family duty as well. I wish everybody a blessed night. Let's finish watching this game to see who we're gonna have in the Super Bowl. Let's hope by Tuesday we know who the GM gonna be, and we all can have another group show again and talk about these dirty birds like we all love to do.
Oh, for sure.
That'll work.
Once again, to the YouTube streets, thank everybody for coming out to the show. And y'all know over here, we don't write no scripts over here. It's just real talk. So everybody have a good evening. Peace out.
Peace.
All right.
Peace.
All right.